Okay, so here we go again. Hi, I'm Rachel.
And I'm Meg. And this is Ger Can Get It. This week, is that a silencer in your pocket or are you just glad to see me?
If they gave awards for makeouts on screen or stage, this guy would get a lifetime achievement. He'll find any excuse to get right to second face. You honestly wouldn't believe it. Dissecting each and every kiss with tongue. There's only one conclusion to come to. It's that Ger can get it. Ger can get it.
My favorite part is when he's walking down the alley and he's shooting the silencer gun like it's like a shotgun. He's like, like shooting. That's not how your assassin gun works, dude. You're not supposed to just fire at people like that.
So this week this is such a dumb fucking movie, but I like it so
I want
much.
to sit down with the person who picked out all the music and just be like, walk me through your thoughts. Can you walk me through your thoughts?
I have to assume that whoever was in charge of music did not speak to anyone else on the production crew.
No,
They were
no,
totally separate.
no.
They lived totally separate lives.
No, it feels like, you know how 2001 A Space Odyssey has all that classical music in it? And they only put that music in there as like a placeholder. It was never intended to be the music. They were going to compose music. And then somebody watched it and they were like, that's fine. Just leave that. And so that's how it has all that classical music. And that's what this feels like. Like they pulled out, they had a mixtape and they were like, well, I'll just, if it's on the tape, I'll put it where we're going to put music. And then nobody went back and changed anything.
It does feel like someone had the radio on and it was Peebo Bryson playing and they were like, all right, yeah.
Yeah,
This is
okay.
fine.
All right. More importantly, before we get too far into this, there are 8 actors in this that were also in Forever Night. And I wrote them all down
Do share.
for you.
Thank you.
Actually, there were 7 actors and then 2 other overlaps. So Ellen Ray Hennessy is the lady who plays the sassy waitress, the bitchy waitress.
Yeah.
She plays Officer Jenkins in Blood Money, which is a season 2 episode. And then Robert Collins plays a guy named McInnes, and he's like the biker that gets shot at the very beginning of Hunted, which is the episode where Nick is being hunted because the lady's like, ooh, you are a vampire. I will hunt you. And we get no other plot development for her at all.
Yeah. Okay.
And then Marlon Brand, the arm wrestler, the random guy that's arm wrestling, is also in Father Figure as like a random background character. He doesn't have a name in either one. Roy Sallows is one of the writers of this movie, The Conspiracy of Fear. And he also wrote the episodes Dance by the Light of the Moon, which is the one with the stripper.
The crazy woman, right? Or
Yeah, the I'm really wealthy and smart, and that's why I like to get men to kill for me. That episode.
Yes, yeah.
Cherry Blossoms, which is the vampires
Racist.
Can Be Defeated by Acupuncture episode. There is also Hunted, which is the one previously described, the one where Nick gets hunted through the town. Outside the Lines and Strings. Strings arguably being the worst episode after Vampire Dog. Vampire Dog is at least amusing. Strings is that one that you're like, what was that one about? And it's the one where that psychiatrist is using videotapes to convince that lady to murder her family. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Howard Jerome, who played Walter, is also Jimmy Vanetti in The Fix, the one that Nick has to graphically eat spaghetti in front of.
Wait, which one? Wait, which character is Walter? Why am I not?
I can't remember which one Walter was. I found a couple and I was like, there's more. So I did the IMDb comparison tool and I was like, oh, look. So it'd be whatever random Italian looking man is in the episode.
I wonder if he was, I bet he was the, oh no, that's Axel. Fuck. Nope. I got nothing. I'm sorry. Continue.
It's fine. Wait, you know what? Go back and watch the movie. You'll figure it out.
I will.
David Nerman, who played Wolf, is the guy. He's the guy that's in 2 episodes as 2 different characters. He's Wade in The Code, and he's also Todd Marnecki in Hearts of Darkness. The guy that gets killed in the. He's the drug dealer. The like shoulder length black hair drug dealer guy who shows up and says fuck a lot in like a really strong Canadian accent. And all due
Yes.
respect to your people, but I
No,
will
it's
never not laugh when a Canadian guy's like fuck you, and I'm like, you're so cute. Like it's just so cute.
every time we watch something and you're like, oh, blah, 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 there's a really strong Canadian accent. 99% of the time, I'm like, I didn't hear it. I didn't hear it. In this movie, it stood out to me so thickly that I was like, okay.
I don't know another way to say this, but the Canadian accent sounds like chubby. Like you could squeeze it. Like it's like rounded, right? So anytime they say fuck you, I'm like, that's so cute. I just can't. I can't. It's like being cussed at by a teddy bear.
It does. The whole movie does feel like the most Canadian people from the darkest dark heart of like Saskatchewan got together and were like, community theater, and maybe someone will film it. And then they like saw Ger and Christopher Plummer and they grabbed them off the street and were like, we'll shoot you if you're not in our movie. And they were like, okay, man.
Okay,
whatever.
fine. Okay, and there's more. Stuart Bick, who plays Loomis. I don't know which character that is. He plays James Coulter in Partners of the Month. And then Rick Forsyth is Ger's.
The stunt guy.
Yeah, stunt guy in this.
Was he his stunt guy in this too? Oh, good.
Yeah.
Did it happen to say who dubbed Ger during the scenes where it was clearly not Ger talking?
I don't know, but the black guy, the black CIA agent who's in it for like who literally that Ger chases down on foot while he's in a speeding car. That one. Yeah. And then he drives off a bridge because he's like, I don't know how to do this.
I can't stop.
He's in a whole bunch of Highlander. Like he's a recurring character in Highlander, the TV series, which Ger is also in. So there you go. There's
I do recall that episode with Ger because of his Dockers and his tight little bubble butt.
Yeah, I don't think he's in that season because that season is in Paris. But when he's in Chicago.
Well, it's funny that you mention about him being in a show with a person in this movie who is a recurring character in that show, but not when he's there, because that's the exact same thing that happens with Leslie Hope, because she apparently plays Jack Bauer's, I want to say, wife. She has the same last name as Bauer. It's like Eliza Bauer. She's apparently like a very big character in 24, a recurring character over multiple seasons. What season she's not in? Season number 5.
Yeah, the one that Ger's in.
It's kind of like with Carrie Ann Moss. Like they were together in Forever Night. They were both in
The
Matrix,
again.
but not in the Matrix episode with him. She was like, nope, nope. My character is sick this week. Oh,
this is actually in the middle of Forever Night too, because it's 1995.
Oh yeah, it must have been during the break when they didn't know if they were coming back.
Yeah.
So he just took all of his friends.
His goatee. I know we're gonna get talking about the plot soon, but like his goatee tripped me out because. It's not just on his chin, it's on his slightly down his neck. So in certain scenes where he like tilts his head just right, it's on both of his upper chins. He doesn't have a double chin, but like just the way they structured this, it's not a flattering place to end a goatee.
Well, how else will you know he's evil? He doesn't wear a tie, so he has to have a goatee.
And then because he's Ger being evil, he has to do the like lowered chin look at you from over my eyebrows for like every scene that he's in. So he's always looking down when he's talking to everybody.
He's got his toolbox and he has certain tools that he uses. But before we get too much further, I have to make sure the audience knows what movie we're actually watching.
Like you can get it from context clues.
You won't get it. The movie that we saw is called The Conspiracy of Fear. It's from 1995.
The is important.
The is important because there is a movie or TV show on Amazon Prime right now from like 2024, 25 called Conspiracy of Fear. That's not this. I don't know if that's good or bad. It's not the amazing piece of schlock B-grade garbage that we saw this week. And I tried to see if there's anywhere where it's streaming, and Amazon did that thing where they have like a stub on their Amazon Prime, and then you click on it and they're like, not in your market, and they don't tell you what market you could possibly watch it in. So I'm sort of guessing it's like Black Harbor, where at some point in some market in the past, you could watch it streaming, but you can't any longer. I bought this on, I think, eBay. I don't know. You can buy the DVDs lots of places. I bought the DVD. I bought the VHS on eBay from like Australia because it was funny to me to have an Australian blockbuster DVD of the VHS tape of this. You can find it lots of places. It'll run you it'll run you more in shipping than it will cost you in the movie. You have to buy this movie. Please, everyone, listen. Please buy this movie. If I could find a way to get it streaming for you guys, I would. There is no way to get it streamed. You have to just spend the $5 and buy it. It is so fucking funny. It's not meant to be funny. It's meant to be a serious thriller. I laughed so goddamn hard.
I nearly peed myself at the end. Right? I was laughing so hard.
Right, this movie. I know. Okay, I know we always do our reviews at the end. But to change it up a little, what would your rating be for this movie before discussing it at all? What would your
Okay, well, just on what I think we should recharacterize as evil characteristics, because he definitely has his wheelhouse when he's playing an evil character, and I'm not gonna say it's his least squeaky wheelhouse, but it's definitely endearing. And then you're like, oh, Gary, you're trying so hard. So he got to do a lot of his he had evil facial hair. He had his evil glasses. He got to wear a very large linen suit that was belted very tightly to try to hold those pants up. He got to stalk slowly around and chase young kids. He got to do a couple of things that he normally gets to do. He got shot by steam, which happens usually when he's evil.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. He got into, and he dropped the gun when he got shot by steam, which is like part of what he has to do when he gets shot by steam. And there was one other thing that he did that I was like, oh my God, that always happens to him. I can't think of what it is.
Well, I mean, he gets to die dramatically. He's good at dying on screen.
Yeah, but no, it's like people sneaking around him. Like he goes into the room and then they like run behind and exit, and he has to be like, no, and then chase after them. He just got to do a lot of his usual evil. He got to use his evil voice and his evil laugh. Yes. So I would say for raised eyebrows, this was a pretty spot on evil Ger performance. So I'm gonna have to go 5 raised eyebrows out of 5.
Very nice. See, and I go by overall enjoyability. And even though I'm just gonna preface this by saying we're gonna discuss the plot in a minute. It is not a good or coherent movie. It's not. It's not an Emmy-winning movie. But I really, really liked it. It was I rarely. So usually, if I watch something, I either very much enjoy it or I very much hate it based on the quality. Or if it's somewhere in between, it's just something forgettable and I don't have any opinion on it. And I'm sort of disgusted that I have no opinion. Like that's how I am with movies and TV and things like that. This is so bad. This is the rare time where it was the so bad it's good.
Yeah.
I never really get that. Like if someone's like, oh, this is so bad it's good, I'll watch it and go, it's just bad and I don't like it. I laughed so hard.
I think it was something to do with the car. When he was in the truck or when he was in the van. There's something he does in the van that I was like, oh, that's a thing that he always does. Get caught by getting in a car accident, probably, or take his eyes off the road constantly.
Maybe. Well, we'll go through the plot and you'll remember it when we're going through. Maybe
it'll pop up.
Yeah. So I'm going to give this like fully like a 9 out of 10 is how much I enjoyed. I have not laughed. Right? I have
not how it thought it was going to be enjoyable,
no.
but
no, it thought it was a serious thriller, and I nearly like you said, I nearly peed myself laughing. There were parts I watched multiple times because I was like, I didn't just see that. And then I rewound and I was like, nope, that's exactly what happened on screen.
I love how MacGuffin the MacGuffin is. Like the MacGuffin is the most MacGuffin-y MacGuffin that has ever MacGuffined on screen. Like it's such a MacGuffin. We don't even know what it is by the end of the movie and nobody else does either. And they're like, fuck it. And they throw it in a pond.
Yep. It just had to be chased. And then once it was caught, it could be thrown in a pond forever.
Yeah, you could feed it to a seagull. It's fine.
My favorite part, and like this is a spoiler for like 35 minutes from now when we get there in the plot. But so the thing that they're chasing turned out to be a microchip. And in my head, I was like, do I not know what a microchip looks like? Maybe I don't. And so I Googled it and it turns out, no, it is in fact like a computer chip, but micro. It looks like it's square, like a little stamp, but small. The thing that they use in the movie as a microchip
is like a capacitor. I think it's just a capacitor because it's like a long tube, like a colorful tube. It's just a series of them lined up.
I couldn't even tell that they were tubes. I just saw like the little wave, little like ruffle shape, like a ruffled potato chip, but like different colors. And I was like, I don't know what that is. Is it a tiny battery? But it's not.
It's not a
in no way.
microchip.
It is not a microchip. And they're just like, oh well, into the sea. Back to Davy Jones with you.
It kind of reminded me of. Have you ever seen the Home Alone 3?
I'm aware of it, but I haven't seen it.
The whole plot of Home Alone 3 is he has this microchip. And so it's like, ooh, we gotta, and they finally get the microchip, and it's like the size of a sandwich. It is so fucking big.
I guess
and
compared to the computer that's the size of a wall, that's a microchip. Is that
so dated? Because he's like, haha, this really high tech microchip, and it's literally just so huge. And this is the opposite, where they're like, people don't know what microchips look like. We
They
can
don't know,
do
it's
anything we want, and so it's literally just like a couple of Radio Shack components glued inside this watch.
I think that's part of why I like this movie so much is I feel like, okay, there's a difference between, oh, look at this technology, it's now dated, and, which is like, fine, it's just, the pace of progress, whatever. But my favorite is that thing where the people, the props guys and everyone who had to like sign off on the props guys, they all go, no one's gonna know. No one's gonna know. And then they just half-ass it in a beautiful way. Like, we've discussed this before, but there's a really old episode of Law and Order, like when it was on in the original run in like the 80s and the early 90s, where we had just started like having like more people have interaction with the internet. Like the internet was just sort of becoming a thing. And they had someone, and I don't know if he was supposed to be sending an email or like be on a website, but he literally had a Word document open and he was like, bloop, 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 I'm sending an email. And I was like, sir, that is a Word document. Who the fuck who are you sending that to? But they were like, no one's going to know. And that is how the technology in this whole movie, that is how all of it is structured. I mean,
Yes,
in a couple of minutes, we're going to discuss Ger putting what I assume was meant to be a bomb, on the cables of an elevator, like in an elevator shaft. And how would you describe that? It's just like a black wooden box with some lights on it and Ger like staring at it very studiously.
Yeah. It looked like one of those old-timey radios that had a handle. You know, the little square radios that had a handle at the top?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it looked like that, but they changed the face out to just be two glowing lights. And that's
so menacing.
And he has to be like, do, and like turn the knobs. Like, yes, I'm turning these knobs. I'm setting this bomb.
It was definitely reminiscent of like early Star Trek where they're just and Airwolf, which is probably why they hired him because they're like, you can hit glowing buttons in an order that looks like you're meaning something, sir. Beep,
yeah,
boop,
totally.
Beep boop boop. Oh,
and he was like, I've trained for this. I
got you. Okay. So this movie, we're gonna try. So the movie starts with a list of production companies I have never heard of. So I don't know if they only existed for the length of time it took them to make this movie, but they do not exist anymore. And then because it's the 90s, we have to do that thing that all movies started with, which is a very fast zoom over a wide expanse of either land or water.
Mm-hmm. And then the slow motion seagull going whoop, whoop.
Slow motion seagulls.
I was like, what is happening with
I feel like this movie, I feel like they wanted the slow motion seagulls to mean something because they bring them back at some point later. And I got nothing. I'm sorry. I'm real dumb.
Maybe it's the only bird they could find. They were like, we need a dramatic bird. He was like, oh, like a hawk or an eagle. And they're like, yeah, go find one. And he's like, I could only find seagulls.
Seagulls were cheaper, man.
They're everywhere.
And like, you like hear the seagull's wings before you see them. So it's black and you hear like, and then you see the seagulls. So I was like, oh, is this is a dramatic, is this like a heartbeat? What's going to happen? And then the movie's already like, nope, sorry, seagulls. And I was like, what? Okay. And then we get like the tagline that you would normally, I don't know, have read to you in a trailer or be on the box for the movie, but like they just decided to insert it before the whole movie starts. And it has nothing to do with the movie. It literally says, we conspire to lie. We conspire to cheat. We conspire to steal. We're afraid of failure. And then the slow motion seagull. And I was like, am I not high enough? I wrote it down because I was like, what? Like, it's not like when
we are afraid of failure. What do you mean?
Were you afraid of failure in making this movie because it doesn't come through?
Are you college students? Is that what you are? Sorry.
This movie does make a lot more sense as someone's like senior film thesis.
Yeah. We are
'Cause
afraid of
for that-
failure. Now watch our movie.
Because if I evaluate it under that scale, like, this is amazing. You did this with a college student's budget? Wow.
Okay.
Oh,
I'm gonna get
this
it together.
movie.
I just forgot about this and it's not even like scroll text. It's just the first couple of words that are the same, and then it keeps changing out the last word, and then
Yeah.
it disappears and goes, "We
Yeah.
are afraid of failure." Okay.
Who is we? It feels like it's meant to be profound.
We never know who hired Ger. We don't know. We don't even really know like what was his intention? Is he supposed to get the thing, or is he
I
supposed
think-
to kill everyone?
Okay, I think, and I'm not entirely sure about this. We will maybe learn together when I go through my notes and see what I wrote down while watching this
Okay.
movie. I think what the actual plot is that, this is good. I'm going to announce this to the audience now, and then I'm going to go
Okay.
through the way it happens in the movie, and you're going to be like, well, I wouldn't have gotten that. So I think what the plot is that Chris King's dad, whose name I don't remember his name, but he is a scientist working for the CIA. He develops an antivirus, an antiviral something for people, question mark.
No, just
That would be-
antivirus. Yeah.
Yeah.
An
Yeah, so-
antiviral formula is what
Sorry,
he
an
develops.
antiviral formula. That's right, because they say it in the
mhm.
most peculiar way. It's like a Shakespearean formula where you're like, hair of dog. And I'm like, okay, I think that means dog's hair, but I'm not 100%. That is how
Yeah.
an antiviral formula, question mark, which would be dangerous if it fell into the wrong hands. And then the dad is talking to Christopher Plummer's character, who is also at the CIA. Oh, this makes no sense. Oh, it all fell apart. Okay, I'm gonna keep going. So I think
Just keep going.
he's talking to Christopher Plummer's character, because I think it's Christopher Plummer's character who calls him at the very beginning of the movie, right? And they're talking, and the guy's like, "I will pay you whatever," or is that somebody else?
No, it's somebody. It's some mysterious third person that we don't.
Oh, well, shit, then it all falls apart. Okay. So he's talking to somebody on the phone at the beginning of the movie, because the guy's like, "I will pay you whatever you want," Christopher King's dad, in exchange for this antiviral formula. And the guy's like, "No, okay, maybe, oh, I know who it is. Big brain moment, big brain.
Okay. I'm ready.
He's talking to the newspaper reporter.
Oh.
He must be, because the newspaper reporter is like, "I will pay you whatever." And then the dad is like, I don't want money, but if this doesn't get to save people, like it could kill lots of people could die without it. Lots of people could die without it, and if it gets into the wrong hands, people will die because of it, I think. Something like that. People will die if I don't get my story out, basically. So the reporter is like, okay, like we're going to meet at some point. And I feel like the CIA must have been like trying to encourage Chris's dad not to release this formula to anybody anywhere. So the CIA wants to keep hold on it. And the dad is like, no, this needs to get out to the people because it'll cure diseases, viruses. It'll cure viruses and make people better. And so it needs to be spread out in the world. And the CIA is like, fuck that noise. No, that's dangerous. So Christopher Plummer at the CIA hires Ger's character to hunt down the dad. And then I think the idea is that we're going to kill the dad and we'll scoop up the antiviral formula from him. So Ger's character kills the dad in the elevator, air quote, accident, and then looks in the guy's briefcase because he thinks that he'll have the antiviral thing with him. When he doesn't, Christopher Plummer directs the other CIA guys to look after the son, to make sure that the son, he's saying to make sure that the son is like safe and alive, but really what he means is watch the son. The son is going to get the antiviral formula at some point, and then we can scoop it up from him. So they're all chasing the son, like they have Ger chasing the son, like to scare him and kill him and get the formula that way, and then they have the good CIA guys chasing him because they're like, we'll get the secret formula the safe way, and the CIA doesn't know that Christopher Plummer is playing both ends, that he's both directing the good CIA guys to go and protect the son and try and scoop up the formula as part of protecting him. And also, I think the bad CIA guy, Christopher Plummer, wants Ger to kill the son, get the formula that way, bring the formula back to Christopher Plummer, and then Christopher Plummer can like sell it to rogue third world nations who will cause damage or whatever. I think that's the idea.
You got more out of it than I did.
Here's my red string.
I think it's important to note in this moment that we do not actually know what they are after until 1 hour and 25 minutes into a 1 hour and 50-minute long movie.
Oh, that is correct. That is correct. I know I addressed that in the notes at some point, but yeah.
It's literally like Meatloaf's I would do anything for love, but I won't do that until 1 hour and 25 minutes in. Because they're like, give me the thing. And he's like, the what? And they're like, what? Give me the thing. And he's like, the what? For an hour and 25 minutes.
It feels like the movie thinks it's being smart and cagey. But all I can think of is, if you are the son and a bunch of rando guys are like, I will blow your brains out until you give me the thing, I'm going to need some more direction.
Yeah, you got to help me out. I would give it to you. I would, I swear. I just don't know what you want.
And they all refuse. It's like they're playing
they're like, they're playing the
pronoun game. They're like, the thing, give it to me. What? What is it? Is it a cat? Is it a dog? Is it bigger than a mailbot? What is it?
Yeah, he doesn't even know his dad works for the CIA.
No, he thinks his dad's a cow shit scientist.
Until around the time he finds out what they're after.
Yes.
Yes.
This movie has everything and nothing. I loved it so much. Okay, we're doing it justice because of how all over the place we are. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do my best. Okay. So the first character that we meet is Chris King, who is played by, you said Andrew Lowery, right? That's his name?
Yeah.
Who we discussed before we got on camera, was in the Buffy movie, which is fantastic. And then you said Leslie Hope was in something with vampires also. What was she? The Strain? She directed The Strain with Nigel?
She directed some episodes of The Strain. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So the Forever Night vampire triangle is all coming together.
Complete.
It is my personal contention that every actor will at some point be in a vampire thing, because vampires are so cyclical that like at some point in your career, you're going to need hot dog money. You're going to be in a vampire thing, and I'm going to watch it. So I'm just, I'm so happy when I'm proven correct. Yeah. So we meet Chris King, who is 31. The actor is 31. He's playing a character who's apparently at in college. And I have to say that, like, normally when we watch something from the 90s, I feel bad that I think every 20-year-old is 45. But in this case, I was vindicated because he is, in fact, 31. And he's like, hey, Dad, I'm off to school. I'm gonna take a class. I'm like, what class? Like, grad school? What is happening here?
Well, he comes in from running. Yeah, that's what he's doing at first. He's running in sweatpants, which I don't know why in the 90s we thought everybody exercised in either plastic bags or sweatpants.
That's all the technology we had. We didn't have stretchy yoga pants yet.
And he's got a Walkman on,
which he holds in his fucking hand. And I don't know why that pisses me off, because like at first I was like, oh, is this some early generation of Walkman where they didn't think that you would need to like clip it to your clothes? No, when it falls, because he'll drop it at some point, there's a fucking belt clip on the back of it. Just clip it to your goddamn pants, you weirdo. Why are you running with it in your hands, you freak? Stop it. I hate you. So we have our grown-up college kid. He lives in an apartment with his dad, who he thinks is some kind of animal scientist, ?
Cow shit scientist.
Cow shit.
Get it right, because he says cow shit scientist like 17 times in front of a very small child. And then she's like, what's a cow shit scientist? And the mom's like, ha ha, she just learns things quickly. Which is mom for, really? You had to fucking say it that many times in front of her? Really? Thanks, bro. I really appreciate it.
But also, I just would like to point out, I don't know what that means, a cow shit scientist. I assume you study animals, you study biology in some way of animals. But like the kid, you're right, the kid is very specific about the cow shit part of his dad's job. Yeah. So
he thinks his dad studies cow poop. That's what he thinks.
Yeah. I'm going to school on a cow shit scholarship.
We don't know how he developed his antiviral formula. Maybe it was from cow shit. We don't know.
I like to assume it was, actually. Yeah, that's my assumption.
He's shaming his dad, too. He's like,
I know. You're paying for my college with your cow shit science.
I can't believe that's your job. Like, I can't believe I got to tell my friends that I got cow shit money.
Fuck, I would love to have cow. Give me the cow shit money. Fuck you, kid. fuck you. Not that I'm mad about Sally Mae or anything. Anyways, so it's fine. Push it into a hole. So we do see the dad on a phone call with a mysterious unknown person who you and I have deduced by process of elimination is probably a reporter at the local newspaper, but we're not 100% sure. You guys watch the movie and you tell us. That'll be like a fun little back and forth we can have. You watch and you tell us how wrong we are about this insane movie. Yeah, all guesses will be tabulated and the best one might get a sticker or something. Okay. So we meet him, and then we meet their neighbor, a lady named Mrs. Markowitz, who's in her, like, 30s, maybe? I don't know, youngish. And she has a 7-year-old daughter named Amy, who has a
Amy's supposed to be 7?
Well, the actress is 7.
Oh.
She's a very small...
Okay.
She seems like she's very small for 7.
She actually meets Ger first. Because she's walking down the hallway, and then she, like, slow motion drops her doll when she sees him, and the doll, like... Mama, like
this. Okay, I'm glad that you mentioned that because there are multiple scenes. There are many scenes in this movie that are shot in slow motion and go on 12 times longer than even the slow motion version of a scene should. Like they're extended and in slow motion for no reason. For no reason.
And
so
then he has to reach down and pick the doll up, which is the first time we've gotten monster hands in a really long time.
Yeah. I'll drink to that. Monster hands.
He does the like where his pinky never contacts the doll. It just like hover floats around and he has to like like the most menacing way anyone's ever picked up a doll. And he fists the doll's neck and he like hands it to the child. He's like, have the doll. And she's like, thank you. And the doll goes, Mama. Like,
he does hand it to her like he's Frankenstein's monster, but evil. That is the vibe he gives off. He does a good job at it.
Yes.
But you're right. And I would just like to point out to anyone in the audience who does watch this movie, which again, go and watch this movie. Mm-hmm. This scene, which is like, I don't know, 5 minutes in, it's like not very far in. This scene, I think, is a good representation of what it would have looked like to a third party watching us meet Ger the first time, and both of our souls left our fucking bodies because he's standing there and the little girl sees him and goes, oh, and just like, I mean, she's terrified. I'm not going to say that we weren't terrified, but she has this horrified, like, this is a terrible demon monster and I'm all alone, like, face, and she drops her doll and is just staring at him with wide, crazy eyes. While Ger stares back, like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do here. And I was like, oh, we've been there. We've been in that same scene. All that was missing was the little doll saying, Mama. Jesus. I was like, oh. And actually, the actress who played Amy is 1 year younger than me. So I was like, oh, it's temporally correct.
She's in a bunch of stuff. I recognized her. She's in Look Who's Talking.
I saw that on her IMDb. Yeah, I didn't see her in it.
Yeah, she's like the annoying young child in a bunch of stuff in this era.
Oh, good for her. I was impressed. She seemed kind of like she had sort of like a John Kapelos-esque career where she's in like 100 things and you maybe wouldn't recognize her from being in those 100 things, but like she is acting all the time, which I think is great, which is cool. And Leslie Hope has sort of a similar career. Like you said, she's directing a whole bunch and she's still acting. She was in Murdoch Mysteries. Shout out to the thing that every Canadian has to be in at least once. She seems like, so she's got her directing and her acting. And then poor Andrew Lowery starred in a movie that I think we need to watch together because it sounds amazing, called My Boyfriend's Back, about a teen who becomes a zombie to get a girlfriend. Or sorry, a teen who comes back from the dead for the express purpose of getting a girlfriend. I want to make clear that I don't think he kills himself to get a girlfriend.
We can watch that one, and then we can watch the slightly related but probably better one where the guy brings his girlfriend back, but she comes back as a T-Rex. I think it's called like Tina Rex or something like that.
Oh, I am down for that double feature. Absolutely. But it seems like he hasn't been, like he's been in some stuff, but it's all like streaming or shorts. And I feel bad because he does a good job and like he's fine in this. He was the star of that My Boyfriend's Back movie, which I've seen trailers for all over the internet. So like it must have been sort of big at the time. Like, Andrew Lowery, where are you? Where'd you go, man? Come back. Anyways, he sucks in this movie, but he's good. He's a good actor. Just the character's so punchable.
His IMDb picture's not helping him. The like whatever he's got going there. The school marm picture.
He does look in this movie, and also in the photo on IMDb, he does look like the consolidation of every white male actor from the 80s, early 90s. He looks exactly like young Tom Hanks, but somehow he's his own distinct person. But if you look at the picture, you would be forgiven for being like Tom Hanks. Anyways, I feel bad for Andrew Lowery. Anyways, so he is the world's biggest college kid. We will meet his dad, his neighbor, Mrs. Markowitz, and little 7-year-old Amy, and her giant porcelain doll that, as you said, says mama every couple of seconds and has that thing that we had when we were kids that I feel like dolls don't do that now, where they have the like independent eyelids.
The eyes close.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like they don't have horrifying murder dolls like we had when we were kids. We had the superior murder dolls. So, and as you said, the little girl will be in the hallway of the apartment building, and we'll see Ger in his boiler suit and just basically go into the White Room. So it was a very relatable movie for that reason, if no other. So they will all go, everyone except for Ger, they all go into the elevator. And as you said, Chris, who's supposed to be our hero, and I think he's supposed to be like charming and relatable and fun, is shitting on his dad because he's like embarrassed about his dad's job, which pays for him to go to college, which again, pay for me to go to college. Fuck this kid. And then I think he's supposed to have like a cute ribbing big brother little sister relationship with the Amy character, but because you're a 31-year-old man, you're just shitting on a child and it doesn't feel good.
Yeah, he keeps calling her different names and she's like, please don't call me that. And he's like, whatever, Sprog. He keeps calling her different stupid
weird nicknames that no human person has ever called another human person. It's not like Squirt or Pipsqueak, it's like Schmark, and I'm like, what the fuck is that? Did you just make that noise up out of your belly? Why? So it's like less cute. He's supposed to be the character that we root for, and I do not give a shit about him the entire movie.
Not even once.
No, and I will say what's really funny is Ger's name is the first one in the credits, which I love. I fucking love. He has 4 lines in the whole movie. He's like not even in it all that much, except
he gets to menace around though.
Menacingly walk behind people. How is he the first credited name? How did he manage to get that? I mean, good for you. I love it. But how?
I mean, he's a big deal right now. 1995. He's in a lot of stuff in the 90s.
I guess. But
he's headlining a television show.
That is true.
Yeah.
That is true. But it just strikes me as so funny that in the context of this movie, it would be like if the actor who played Jason Voorhees got first billing in a Friday the 13th movie.
He's got more to do than Jason, at least.
Does he?
Yeah, a little bit. He gets the longest death scene ever recorded.
This movie, okay, so you know when you watch I feel like we don't have programs like this anymore, but for a while I feel like we had a lot of science explainy programs like Mythbusters and things where it was like,
how's that get made? That kind of stuff.
Yeah, or where it's like there's a Jurassic Park movie. Could you really outrun a T-Rex? And they would build a T-Rex model and they'd be like, well, we think a T-Rex could actually, based on the density of its bones and this factor and that factor and how chickens run, blah, blah, blah. We think a T-Rex would actually run this fast. And then they would have a guy on T-Rex legs chase you or whatever in the the TV show where they would be testing things from TV and movies. And then they would just be like, here's how the science works. I feel like the people who made this movie never saw any of those programs because I feel like you would have to fall from very, very, very high up in the air to fall for as long as multiple people fall in this movie. They fall for 8-minute stretches at a time unbroken. And you would have to fall from the moon to fall for as long as it. And I love how the movie, there were parts where I was like, is this slowed down on purpose for dramatic effect? But no, when they want slow-mo, I feel like they do a really they go very intensely on the slow-mo, like the birds flapping in slow-mo with the I think they just think that falling takes a long time. I don't or alternately, all the buildings in this movie are 90-story tall buildings. That's the only. Otherwise, it makes no sense. It's so dumb. I love this movie so much, so much. Okay, so at the very beginning of the movie, we meet the Chris King, and he'll come back in from his run, and he'll talk to the doorman, whose name I don't remember. It doesn't matter. He shows up twice, once to be alive and once to not be alive. But the doorman, it feels like a John Capellos character, where he's like the cool blue collar guy who's like your buddy and he's got like the great attitude, and he's got kind of a Chicago accent if you want it, maybe, sort of. And then like they pay him for like an hour and then he's done. Like that's the vibe of him. So we meet him. He's like, hey, I got a package for you. And the kid's like, it's probably for my dad. I don't want it. And I'm like, take the fucking,
he goes,
what's wrong with you?
It's probably something quarterly, like International Cattle Quarterly or something. My dad will get it later, whatever. This is after the guy's like, you keep working that hard, maybe you'll get a good job like me someday. And he's like, oh yeah, am I going to be a concierge? And you're like, wow, you are an actual douchebag. And the guy's like, no, I don't do anything French.
This kid is awful. This kid has he has a personality, but it is not likable in any way. It's very weird. No.
And quite a bit of the dialogue in this movie sounds like it was written in different rooms. The people didn't know.
Yes.
Didn't know what human beings talking to each other sounds like.
Yeah. No, I have a note about that where in a second when we get to the B plot that goes nowhere and disappears, I was like, were they trying to make this sound like Tarantino? This kind of feels like they wanted this to sound like Tarantino, and then they'd never actually seen a Tarantino movie, and so they all just decided to wing it, and they winged it poorly.
Didn't do very well.
Correct. Yeah. So we'll meet the doorman, and then the doorman's like, hey, are you almost finished? And then, we see Ger for the first time, who is wearing a full-on boiler suit. He's got the goatee of evil. That's how you know he's evil. Because he's either business evil with a tie, or he's blue-collar evil in a boiler suit. Those are the two kinds of evil.
With glasses and a goatee.
Yeah.
Required.
I don't hate the 90s glasses. I don't like the big round, I was like, okay, all right.
I know. I texted you. I was like, this goatee should not be working for me. It should not. I don't know what's happening today.
Because it is very clearly a My Evil Twin goatee. It is the goatee that they keep in stock for any time that you're going to have a My Evil Twin character.
Yes, correct.
And yet it's not, it works for it. Because like Ger, the problem with Ger, which I mean the good thing about Ger, but the problem about Ger is that he can take I'm the Evil Twin goatee, and he can spin it into like, maybe I'm a Three Musketeer. Like he like spins it just a little bit that way. And I'm like, I kind of.
Yeah.
Okay. Turns out I like goatees now. I don't.
Okay. Here's a question. Is this the younger version of his character from Cube 2?
You know what? Sure. Why the fuck not?
I'm pretty sure it is. You know what? It makes both movies better. Because he survives that fall, and then he continues to be a murdery evil guy, and he ends up getting trapped in the cube with his goatee, and then he becomes obsessed with watches because that one time that kid had a watch.
You know what? That actually kind of works. Yeah. No, yeah.
Yep.
And I feel like I was an assassin who fell off a window washer's cradle.
I like to think he fell like 2 stories, and he's just laying on the ground going, like he's still falling.
I do like it. Like, I feel like it makes sense to me that if you fell out of a window washer cradle from 900 miles in the air and then had to recover in a hospital for a long time, it might give you a taste for human flesh and then
maybe that's how he ended up in Cube, because Cube's not that long after this. Maybe that's where they found him, because we don't know how he got captured and ended up in the Cube.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I love how the more I think about Cube, the less I know about that movie.
It just slips away from you.
It slips. Yes. It's one of those. Yeah. It's like that thing where you see like a light dancing at the corner of your eye, but it's the plot of that movie that I watched.
I just remember: is he frosted or is he old? That's the only part I remember. I'll be honest.
Oh my god!
And all the watches on his arms.
I'm still on the hunt. I'm still on the hunt for the Italian version. Il Cubo.
Il Cubo.
Watching that in Italian, it sounds like the funniest fucking thing. Can you even imagine that performance but dubbed into Italian?
Yes, I want to. I want to see it. Okay, sorry, that was my postulate. You can continue.
No, that makes
plot.
Both movies better, as you said.
Mm-hmm.
So we meet Ger. He's got the boiler suit of evil. He's got the goatee, the big 90s glasses. little bit sweaty hair, kind of hot, will speak 3 lines in the movie, but he will slowly, like Jason Voorhees, hunt everyone down. Oh my God. And it turns out, because this is sort of important. It turns out that his name is Timothy Straker. I'm pretty sure that's right.
They
Straker,
say
right?
that at one point.
Yeah, at one point. And it turns out that he was a former CIA guy who turned evil. Dun, dun, dun. Although, at the end, we find out that he's working for another evil CIA guy. So, could he just think that he's still working for the CIA and that the CIA has sent him on this mission?
They said he will work for anyone who can pay him.
Yeah, but all that information comes from the CIA guy that we find out is evil.
Yeah, I don't know. I know that Ger thinks he's an evil character because I can tell by the way he's talking.
That is true. That is true and fair. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe this is a commentary on the CIA by Ger.
Possibly.
Deep color commentary. So, what happens next? Okay. So, we have Mrs. Markowitz, little 7-year-old Amy. We have Chris and we have Dad. They get into the elevator. Chris is kind of a dick. And while this is happening, we see that Ger has put what I can only say is a beep boop box on the cables for the elevator system. I don't remember if we recorded this, if this is before the recording cut out, but like, can you describe it for the audience in case we haven't described it yet?
It looks like one of those radios with, the like rectangular radio that had a strap handle that went across the top and it had like 2 dials on the front. And that's what this looks like, except they changed the dials out for like lighted dials. And they were like, Ger, if you turn them correctly, there's ham inside. And he was just like dialing the shit out of those. And then he has to like stick it to the cables.
It is
just,
somehow
rest it gently on the cable.
It is somehow faker and worse than the episode of Forever Night where he has to have
stop the elevator with his hands. He has to like
what? I was going to talk about the one where he has to be in the video game and he has the crappy little gloves with the light bulbs on them.
Okay, sorry.
I don't remember him stopping an elevator with his hand. I remember nothing from Forever Night except all the sex scenes. Is that bad?
That's terrible? The one where he's letting Skanky get the arrest. So he flies up and he like stops an elevator.
That sounds familiar. Well, at some point in the long and illustrious future of this podcast, we will deal with Forever Night again. So I'll have to the look on your face. Wow.
Yes.
I'll have to refamiliarize myself. I feel bad. I have like parts that I rewatch Forever Night, and the parts are, spoiler alert, they're not the plot. So for research. Anyways, so somehow the box in this is faker than the little light bulb glove and the sunglasses from the future that they make Ger wear to be in a video game in an episode of Forever Night. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Beep, boop,
Games
boop,
vampires
boop.
play.
Yes. Yeah, that particular episode. Yeah. So, anywho, it is hilariously bad, but it's a bomb. Who could have predicted? So what'll happen is the bomb will explode, the cable will break, the elevator starts shooting down towards the floor. I don't know what floor the family gets in on, but it's like 5 minutes of solid like screaming as the elevator drops. So then all of a sudden the frayed end of the cable gets caught on like a spin wheel kind of. Yeah. The reel. Yeah. Yeah. So it jams for a second. And I was like, oh, okay. Are they going to have one of those dramatic, like try to get free things? And they do sort of, but not in any way. I mean, this movie is not predictable. That is the very best thing I can say about this movie. It is in no way predictable because I never, the rules of storytelling went right by these people. And I love it for that. I love that they were like, no, we're like the E.E. Cummings of movies, of screenwriting. We're going to just do whatever we feel like. The rules don't matter to us. But it turns out that you sort of need to know why rules exist before you decide to ignore them. And these people just went straight to, fuck it, we're going to go weird. So the cable catches. The car is hanging precipitously, and they're near enough to a door that Chris is able to like manually wrench the door open. So they're trying to get the little girl out, and the little girl is doing... She's being a real 7-year-old girl, but it made me want to shake her.
This is the only part of the movie that made me actually angry Because
Yes.
they're like, okay, now go, little girl. And she's like, And they're like, go, little girl. She's like, you don't want to go. And they're like, go. They waste like 17 minutes of screen time just being like,
A long time.
nah. Meanwhile, they keep cutting to the knot slowly working its way out.
Yes.
And finally, he crawls out and he's like, okay, hand her to me. And she's like, send the mom out then. And then have the mom grab the girl.
You would think.
And instead, they're like, for another 10 minutes. And then the car falls further. And then the mom's panicking. And they have to like shove the little girl out while she's screaming.
Punch
because
her out.
they can't in any way choose another person to go out first. It's just
Correct,
the little girl must go. And so then he
Yes.
climbs on top and he's trying to pull her out. But he's just like holding her hand. Like, is she supposed to jump or climb him?
It's all so slow and painful, yeah. Yeah.
So,
and
then guess what? The little girl goes nowhere. Oh, I'm sorry, little girl. Well, anyway, do you have a key to your house?
I thought she was going to be like a main character. I thought he was going to have to like take care of her. It was going to be like a big brother, little sister. Because they were like setting that up with their relationship in the elevator with him giving her like weird, dumb nicknames. I was like, oh, okay. So this movie will be like you and her on the run. You're protecting her or something. Because I feel like we've seen that movie. We've seen the like found family and we have to take care of each other because we're all we got. Nope. No. So yeah, the little girl in the elevator, I will say it did feel very real to me. That feels like very much like what a little 7-year-old would be like. And it made me go, I guess I'd be a bad mom. Because I was so angry. I was like, get out of the elevator. I was like, you're going to be grounded for life. No dessert for you. Get the fuck out of the elevator. Like, it's an emergency. And the kid was like, no. And I was like, So I'm glad to hear you say that you were getting angry about it because I was like, I guess I'd be a terrible fucking mother because I was like, I don't have
pivot.
Any compassion for this
Nobody
kid.
pivots. They're like, well, the girl must go and she won't go. So I guess we're all stuck in the fucking elevator.
I guess we're all going to die.
Thanks,
so they finally,
Amy.
So they managed to like football punt her out to the guy. To Chris King. So Chris, as you said, he gets out into the hallway and then he gets himself up on top of the elevator car. He punches through the little door in the ceiling of the elevator car and he tries to get Mrs. Markowitz and his dad out and he's not able to reach. And then all of a sudden the elevator car fucking drops. And so he manages to jump off of it onto the ledge, like the open doorway into the hallway. Little Amy is standing in the hallway watching the whole thing. And I will say for this child actress, she did the very best, oh my God, what horror have I just seen? This trauma is embedding itself in my soul. I will never be whole again. Face. She does a great job at that. She was as good an actor as the little black child from Other Women's Children, Denny, who played Denny.
Yes.
Where we were like, oh, wow. You seem so physically in pain that I'm sort of worried that like no adult was looking out for you on the set because you look real like you are acting the hell out of this or someone's actually hurting you. So this girl is like in the hallway while the elevator car goes down. And like I said, I don't know how long it should take for an elevator car to hit the bottom of this building, but not as long as it is on the film. It is fully so fucking long. It is 5 minutes.
Of them screaming.
The camera is in the car with them as the car is dropping. So the lady and the father are panicked. They're screaming. They're like thrown against the side of the elevator car as it drops and drops and drops. And they scream the entire time. It is like 5 minutes of solid screaming and then cuts to Amy in the hallway being like, and then back to screaming. And then Amy in the hallway, like it is so fucking in the hands of a better director. This would have been actually harrowing. Because I feel like in movies, especially in thrillers, we're like, oh yeah, they died. They died and we're sad about it. And that's just the thing that motivates us to go to the next set piece.
You know the real exclamation point at the end of this whole plot point is when it lands and we see their dead bodies and there's like a light flickering and her arm is like broken and twisted in one direction and it zooms in on the doll and the doll goes, Mama, and its eyes closed.
Dark. So fucking dark. Like I say, if it weren't If it were not the silliest thing I've ever seen, it would have been heart-wrenchingly harrowing.
Yes.
Like,
yeah.
and it's I sort of like I don't want the serious version of this movie because the dumb version is so fucking fun. But there is something to say for like we watch thrillers and we watch horror movies and we watch lots of movies where like people die and it's just a plot point and we don't care because it gets us just to the next plot point. But it would be sort of interesting to have a thriller where like the point of view was let's sit with these deaths longer and let's feel the impact of them, and like they should matter to us as the audience the way that they matter to the characters. Like what would that be like? Like that would be really interesting to do. That ain't this movie. And that's fine. I get that.
Mm-mm. No, we're done with Amy and her bullshit now. So it's time to move on.
Yes. Yeah. And as you say, like we see the dad and the Mrs. Markowitz in like crumpled to shit and bloody in the bottom of the flickering elevator car that's at the bottom of the building with the doll. And Ger's character somehow manages to like pop in real quick and easy. He looks inside the dad's briefcase. He's like, nope, the thing I want is not there. Peace out. And he just disappears. We then jump ahead to Chris's dad's funeral. It happened. I mean, the only reason that we watch it at all is so that Christopher Plummer can show up and be like, hello, I was a friend of your father. He never mentioned me to you, definitely, but I know who you are. Does your dad, did he give you a thing? We had a thing. I wrote this down. Something is missing from your dad's files. You haven't come across anything, have you? What could that possibly mean? A thing?
That could be anything.
Your dad used to work with cow shit. Did he bring any cow shit home? Would you have recognized if there were cow shit in your house right now? Maybe I can go and look for the cow shit. The fuck are you talking about, sir? So the kid's just like, no, man, I don't have any cow shit in my, okay, I need to go. I'm at my dad's funeral, goodbye. And as you said, I really thought the Amy character would come back. Nope.
No,
Nope, never again. No, she's gone. No one gives a shit. So we will switch to the B plot. So I'm just going to give you the whole B plot because it matters so little, but it's how we get the Leslie Hope character, like how she joins everything. It's the theme of this movie is I'm going to introduce characters with enough specificity that you think they're going to come back and then they just don't matter. Mm-hmm. So, we will meet Jemima Corelli. It's her real name, but she calls herself Jimmy. And then when she introduces herself to the Chris King character, she's like, "My name's Grace Kelly." Okay,
no relation.
Sure. No relation. I'm funny. I have a personality. I'm a sassy girl. I'm a tomboy. You can tell because I got a ponytail and a big leather jacket. I'm tough. Mm-hmm. Okay.
And a baseball hat.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Ma'am. She is also, I think, supposed to be college aged, but she is 30. They're all pushing 30 in this, which I appreciate. So she is a professional car thief / homeless girl who looks very clean and well taken care of.
That is some luscious 90s hair she is rocking.
Oh, it's real thick and gorgeous. I love it. Mm-hmm. So she steals cars. We will see her nearly run over the Chris King character at the beginning, which I'm fine with. That's fine. And then we will see her go and steal the car from these two drug dealers who are very white and very Canadian and I think are supposed to be menacing. But as you said,
they
when
are
I
driving
can tell the Canadian, yeah,
a Toyota Camry.
Is that what it is? Because they make it sound like the coolest car.
Mm-hmm.
They're proud of their car.
Mm-hmm. A Camry.
I don't even know I didn't write their names down because like who gives a shit?
One of them is Wolf.
Is one of them Wolf? Okay. Yeah. She makes a point that she only steals Porsches. So I love the idea that she only steals Porsches and this Toyota Camry stood in for a Porsche. Although it worked for me because I don't know cars from shit. I don't know anything. So I was like, oh wow, is this a fancy car? It looks fancy. So she will see this car. She will break into it very easily. She will drive off. There is a Ziploc bag full of laundry detergent, which is passing for the cocaine in this movie. And she will
much.
It is a full Ziploc bag.
It's a gallon-sized Ziploc bag full of cocaine.
And like I feel like I should have some idea what that would cost. I was a prosecutor, but like for kids. None of my kids had gallon-sized Ziploc bags of cocaine. That wasn't a problem that we
No,
had.
you are leaving out the best part of the tone of the first 30 minutes of this movie is entirely different from the fucking rest of this movie. Because those
Do
drug
tell.
dealers walk into a house and there is a lady having sex against the wall. She's
Who offers them a
smoking a
discount.
cigarette. She's smoking a cigarette while the guy is going at it, and she's clearly totally unbothered. And she's like, hey, when he's done, I'll give you a discount. And he's like, nah, man, I don't even want that. They go in and they meet the drug dealers who are like,
whose name is Yo. Whose name is Yo.
His
They
name
are
is
one
Yo.
from every ethnicity. They have picked one from each.
And they test the cocaine in a way that no one has ever tested cocaine on a TV show ever. They pull out a chemistry kit and they take the cocaine and drop it in and check the color. She tests the cocaine by licking it, which is what you always see them do. But no, he's like, hang on, I'm going to make sure you didn't cut this.
Let me get my Mr. Science kit.
Then when they're walking back out, the lady is done having sex with the current guy. And she's like, hey, baby, nobody cheaper, nobody sweeter, as he's running off because she steals his car and his radio starts playing. And his radio is so loud that he recognizes his own
car.
Radio. And he's like, that bitch. And so he goes out to get his car and she dips and then throws 2 kilos of cocaine out the window. Not like chucks the bag, like opens the bag and dumps it in this huge white cloud. And she's like, oh, what a waste. Can you imagine you're like walking your kid and all of a sudden you're like, oh God, what is that?
Or driving behind them. In my personal, we discussed this. My personal headcanon is that there's a school bus right behind them, so just with
the windows down, because it's the 90s and no school buses have air conditioning. Yeah.
Oh no. Yeah. So just a bunch of like super high kids going to school.
There's just,
that day.
I mean, where's that cocaine's not going anywhere. It's now just everywhere on the street.
And like, I don't want to encourage this, but also like, if you're homeless and like hurting for money, you had a full gallon Ziploc bag of Coke. That's worth something. That's worth some amount. You would have been okay. And like, okay, so the 2 drug dealers, they apparently know her. They're like, Corelli, I'm going to get you, Corelli. We don't know how they know her. We have no idea what that relationship is. They act like they're going to be chasing her, and I guess they sort of are. They disappear after the scene. They will pop up at the very end of the movie and be like, oh, we found her. But Ger has her, Ger is holding her at gunpoint, so he's like, you're in my way. Pew, pew. And he just shoots them in the bellies in the middle of like a post office and then leaves them there. That is their whole story. It's just, but I do love that like, they try so hard to be real tough. This is the section where I was like, did you guys watch a Tarantino movie and you just tried to like go verbatim? Because they all, it all feels sort of like that Tarantino-esque, like you're tough, but you're talking about nonsense. Like what do they call a quarter pounder with cheese in France? Like that kind of like, just.
And saying fuck a lot.
Yeah, you're saying fuck a lot. Your dialogue is supposed to like give me idea of your character, but you're not really adding anything to the whole movie. And like with Tarantino, for all his many flaws, like the way that he does dialogue, like it does create characters who feel like people. This feels like a guy that sat at home in his underwear watching a lot of Tarantino movies and was like, I'm going to make this my personality. And then like was not successful at it. So that is their whole thing. They somehow know her. They will pop up again to chase her through, and I need to make clear, through a produce van, not around,
no,
through. Which I still do not understand the logistics of. They will like chase her. They will catch her once very briefly. She runs somehow through through the cab into the back of the truck and then around some melons and then out, and they will chase her the exact same way. And then they lose. She loses them again until the end of the movie when they pop up and they're like, "Oh, we got you." And Ger's like, "No, you don't." Pew pew. Like the end. Okay, all right. We don't know. We never see the other drug dealers that they were buying from again. We never like none of those characters. I don't know why they're there. I don't know. It's the only reason that I think they might be there is because they're chasing her, and then after the funeral, our Chris King character will get a call from the newspaper reporter who's like, I wanted to talk to your dad. I know your name because, of course, your name came up in my conversations with your dad about the microchip. You know, I asked about his family, whatever. So I know who you are. Let's meet at this diner. So Chris King goes to the diner to wait to meet the reporter. Ger's character has been listening in on the phone. So Ger's character is there. And then I think what it's supposed to be is that Jimmy has been running away from the drug dealers, and to hide, she goes into the diner because there's lots of people there and it's safe. And she recognizes Chris King from when she nearly ran him over with her first stolen car out of many in this movie. And that's the meet cute. I think that's supposed to be why she ends up there, but it's not super clear in the movie. She just shows up at his table and starts eating his food, and making dark comments about how you see one ant, but it turns out that when you see one, there's really many more ants. And I was like, are you supposed to be wise? I don't, street tough urchin.
It's happening. And then she gets to sass the sassy waitress. And that's about it.
The fucking sassy waitress. I love how in the 90s, so Chris's character sits down and the waitress gives him a menu and she's like, what do you want? Because she's the typical diner waitress character where it's the like, I'm just enough of a bitch but I'm still kind of lovable because I'm sassy, whatever. But you're in this movie, everyone's a bitch and like no one is lovable. But he's like, can I get a chicken sandwich? And can I get mustard but no mayo? And lettuce and tomato, and like, are the tomatoes fresh? And normally I'd be like, that's maybe a little persnickety. In this diner, I also would be like, hi, what month did you cut your tomatoes in? Because it looks like the kind of place where they would be like, this is from 2 weeks ago. This is good enough. This is fine for you.
Yeah.
And then he wants a glass of like skim milk. And she's like, oh, look at you, Mr. Richie Rich, who wants the food that's not moldy. And I was like, ma'am, I feel like in the 90s, the audience is supposed to side with you that like he is kind of persnickety, but the shit he's asking for is like, can I get the chicken without the cockroaches on it? And she's like, oh, look at you, Mr. Prince of Wall Street. And I'm just like, holy shit. It comes across a little more fucked up now. Okay, so I skipped over the part where we go to Chinatown and the music is ding 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 ding, which is good. We don't need to focus on. We don't need to talk about that at all.
We'll just leave that on the table.
And I forgot. I missed an important point. So we will see. I think it's right before Chris gets the phone call from the reporter. We will see him taking his dead dad's watch and wedding ring and putting them on. And I just have to say, the way this was filmed was in extreme close-up. So you just see the two hands. I thought it was a lady's hands. I thought it was some lady putting on his dad's watch. And I was like, did some lady steal his dad? I was like, oh, is this a plot point? Turns out no, Andrew Lowery just has, beautiful slender fingers. So good for him.
Effeminate hands. He picks up the wedding ring and he puts it on, and then he picks up the watch and is looking at it, and the ring is on his finger, and there's still a ring down on the paper.
A continuity error in this masterpiece of cinema.
I was like,
don't believe it.
Oh, okay. He put two rings on,
Dad was married. Dad was a polygamist. Dad was married. I don't know. The watch makes sense to me, but I don't know how I feel about it.
It's a watch that he gave his dad.
Okay, could you read what the inscription was? Because I could not read it at all. What did it say?
Yeah, it says like, to dad from Chris. I love you. It's just like a standard.
Okay.
I gave my dad this watch.
I could see that there was writing on it, and like I love how he had his wrist and he was like moving it a little bit so that the light wouldn't catch the letter, like the light wouldn't like make it inscrutable. But it turns out that I'm blind, and so I could see what you're doing there, bud, moving your wrist around. But I'm just getting lights and colors. I got nothing. So he puts on his dad's watch, which will be important because, that's where the secret microchip will be. What?
Not that we know that that's what we're looking for, but
no, correct.
That is also
the
where
package.
it is. Yeah.
Which can I just say, I like that there is nothing that points to the microchip being in the watch at all. Dad didn't leave the son a message. There's no I don't know. There's no one who's going like, find the dad's watch. There's like nothing that points to the watch as the MacGuffin until, doesn't it fall or whatever? And that's when the back pops off. Isn't that how he finds out?
The back pops off. Yeah.
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 Movie, come on.
That's it.
That's it. Movie, try harder. Okay, so we meet the diner waitress who's like, you want clean food? Who are you, princess? Okay, so he waits on the newspaper guy. Newspaper guy doesn't show up, but Ger shows up. Dun, dun, dun. And Ger bumps into our homeless girl. He does that. I feel like that's a characteristic I've seen where he like shoulder bumps into somebody. I don't know why. So we're at the diner. Ger pushes her just to, enforce his evilness. So Chris King, they'll have like this non-conversation. I don't know. She's like, oh, we went to high school together. And I don't know. I feel like she's just saying shit to say shit, but she's just weird enough about it that I'm like, did you go to high school together? I feel like no. I feel like the movie wants us to be no, but she's just weird enough about it that I'm like.
The movie wants us to be like, wow, look how good she is at bullshitting. She's so carefree and so wild and so masculine. She can lie to his face confidently.
Maybe that's what it is. Because
she's a con artist.
I was like 2 minutes in and I was like, no, maybe? No. I don't know. I guess she just, that makes sense. She's just very good at lying. So she's like, we went to school together. And so she steals his watch, apparently, which I did not see during the time, but whatever. So Chris will go outside and then get thrown into a van by Ger very publicly. And so she's like, I guess I'll be the hero. It turns out that she's doing this just because she thinks that if she saves his life, he seems like a rich boy. So a rich boy has a rich mommy or daddy somewhere. And so maybe they'll reward me, which, yeah, that's a good assumption. So her way of getting whatever reward money she thinks that there's going to be is by stealing a taxi cab, driving in front of Ger's van on streetcar tracks in what is very clearly Toronto, but is supposed to be Chicago, and then stopping real fast. So his van smashes into the back of her fucking taxi cab. I was like, okay, that's one way to do it. Yeah, sure. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, if you don't get money from his parents, then you can sue Ger for the neck sprain that you just gave yourself. So good job. So I like that. So we have all these people that are watching, and the kid gets out of the van. This is the characteristic, because Ger ties this kid up in the back of the van with zip ties, just like in Terror Strikes the Class Reunion.
I know.
In a boiler suit, even. Why is that a characteristic? I'm going to put on a boiler suit. I'm going to have a weird wig or facial hair. I'm going to tie somebody up in the back of a real dirty van.
And then I'm going to evil smoke. And then he puts the cigarette out on the kid.
Yes. Yes. I feel like that's a really good encapsulation of this movie, because if I just said to you, we watched Ger put a hot cigarette out on a kid's neck like 4 times in a row, you'd be like, wow, this is a dark, serious movie. But the lit cigarette leaves no marks on the kid, and the kid's like, ow, ow.
And he literally lights it and then sticks it on the kid. Like, he's not smoking it and then he does it. He just like puts it in his mouth, holds it while he lights the end, and then he's like, ha! He sticks it, and he just holds it there. Like, doesn't relight it, doesn't.
No.
He just.
Yeah. It's a magical relighting murder cigarette, I guess.
And this whole time while not looking at the road.
Yes. It is 5 full minutes of him screaming at the kid, punching him in the face, burning with cigarettes while driving a van.
While driving. Correct.
Yes. He doesn't even glance back at the road. He's like, nah, the other cars in the traffic will just move for me. It's fine.
It's fine. Yeah.
And the best thing is, like, towards the very, very end of the movie, when they're in the window washing cradle for the fight, at that point, the makeup artist will have given him a little burn mark on his neck. Did you notice?
No. No.
Only 48 minutes later does a burn show up in this kid while he is actively being burned by Ger, who is punching him and not looking at traffic. No marks. Fucking no marks at all. So they will end up, so the cops come, the cops arrest Boy and Girl, because I think Boy is waving around the knife that Ger was using to scare him. The gun. That's right. Mm-hmm. The weapon, the gun.
Yeah.
And they're all like, "Oh no, he's got a gun!" And I'm like, "Can we focus on the fact that, like, he has like zip tie marks on his wrists and should have like cigarette burns on his neck?" and like clearly is not the guy driving this guy. Like, I don't
No.
know. Can we do some investigation work? No, turns out no. So the cops will pick him up and bring him back to precinct. And then we meet the guy who I think, big asterisk here, the guy who I think is the chief of police, whose name is either Alex or Axel,
It's
who
Alex.
apparently, yeah, but the girl calls him Axel. Why? Why does she call? And okay, so
I don't know.
It's weird because she will later admit that this guy raised her after her dad died of a drug overdose, which we see in a white void dreamscape flashback? Question mark.
He's also called Roe. And I think his name is Rosewood or Rose something. But they also call him Roe.
This feels like a reference to the Axel Foley movie, the Beverly Hills Cop movies, because he was Axel Foley and the cop that he worked with there was Rosewood. And it feels like they were like, I don't know, Axel and Rose. We'll just put those two things together and we'll make the name of the cop in our movie.
That's entirely possible. Either that or Axl Rose. Could go either way.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the musician. That is true.
Yeah.
Anyways, this guy, his name changes 14 times. And it's weird to me. Like, okay, so if this girl is raised by him, I could see her having like a nickname for him. But calling him Axel when his name is Alex feels like dyslexia. Like, it doesn't feel like a nickname. It feels like you just keep making a mistake over and over again. Like, it's just,
yeah.
It's very, he keeps being like, don't call me that. And I'm like, oh, okay. It's very weird. So anyways, he's like her substitute dad. He will tell them to go into a safe house. I think because they're able to prove that they know a guy in the CIA. Isn't that why they end up believing them?
Because he remembers the license plate number
Yes!
of the limo that Christopher Plummer was driving way back at the funeral, at his dad's funeral.
Yeah, that is correct. So he goes full Rain Man. And then that, I guess, if you're just a regular cop in the city, you just go to the database online and you're like, does this car belong to the CIA? And the CIA is like, here you go. Here's a full list of all the cars we own and their license plates.
Mm-hmm.
And so they verify that. They take them to a crappy motel, which I think is the Hillside. I think I wrote it down. Anyways, it is. I don't think it exists anymore. I think it's been knocked down. But like in the 90s, anytime you needed a seedy motel in a movie being shot in Toronto, this was the place that you went to. Because I don't think it had any, I think it was a working motel, but like, I don't think it ever had any guests. So like if you wanted to film, and I'm 99.9% sure that this is the same motel that Ger and the totally not Irish girl stay in Ghost Mom. I'm pretty sure because it is in every single movie. It is always there. It is all the time. I think I think they must have given him like a Ger discount. They're like, oh, you filming?
Oh, back again? Okay.
I got some clean towels for you. I know you don't want to be nude in the movies. Here you go. Oh, so dumb. So they'll be there. Ger will shoot his not shotgun through the very clearly cardboard door. And that's how Alex/Axel/Roe gets blown away very violently and bloodily and dies in front of his adopted, orphaned child of a drug addict daughter, Jimmy/Jemima.
Yes. And they have to jump out the window.
This is the first part of the movie where I laughed so hard and I watched it twice. So, okay, let me set the scene. They're in a motel. It definitely does not have a second floor. You see that it doesn't have a second floor when they pull up to it. It is a flat one level. You drive up right in front of your door, you park, you walk into the door of your motel room. That is what this place is. Somehow, when Ger shoots through the, again, very clearly cardboard door, they jump over a couch together, like synchronized. They jump over a couch. And then boy and girl will synchronized just full-on body smash through the window of this motel room, where it turns out somehow time and space has been twisted just a little bit, and they're now on the second floor. So they just smash through the second floor window. They jump out of it, We watch them fall in slow motion. And then I don't they end up like in a dumpster or something, like a just fortuitously. They don't know that's there because they don't know that they're on the second floor even. They're on a floor that doesn't exist in this motel. And somehow they jump out of the window in perfect synchronized tandem. I don't know how to just beautiful.
And they're unscathed. They're fine. It's totally fine.
Yeah, no injuries at all. These two stuntmen who definitely are not these actors just yeet themselves through the fucking window and slow motion fall from a floor that doesn't exist. And I was like, I think I'm going to love this movie. And it turns out I did.
Isn't this the part where he's chasing them and shooting at them like he has a shotgun, but he has like a little silencer pistol?
That is him this entire movie. So I even had to Google, like, how big is a silencer normally? Because I was like, it can't possibly. It turns out they do. They do look like this. This is what they look like. His silencer is fully, like, twice the length of the barrel of his gun, which I guess is how they work. I don't know. I don't do guns. I'm not a gun person. But it makes it look so fucking ridiculous. It is like a little bitty gun with a giant fucking silencer on the front of it. And yeah, Ger holds it. He holds it like I would hold it, which is like an asshole would hold it. I'm just telling you that. He holds it like it's his first day. It's his first time playing Mr. Scary Assassin Man. And walking very slowly like the fucking Terminator or like Jason Voorhees or what's his face? Who's the one that comes out of the water? Is that Jason? That's Jason Voorhees. Yeah. So
yeah.
Yeah, like just like a slow motion horror movie monster, but like with a silencer with his gun.
Yes. And I would like to point out that they were in a motel with a window and a door, like your standard motel configuration. He knocked on the door and shot through the door and killed the police officer. He could have shot them through the window.
Oh, that's a good point.
Mm-hmm.
I was too distracted by the amazing second floor that didn't exist.
Mm-hmm. He could have literally just been like, problem solved, because he's except we think he might act. There's a part of this movie that wants you to believe he's trying to get him so he can get the thing that he need, which at this point we all still don't know what the fuck Correct. It is. We don't know if it's papers. We don't know if it's files. We don't know if it's a decorative pen. We don't know.
It might be a woman tied up in his basement.
We don't know. No, we know nothing. Nothing.
But that's a good point. I wonder, I do sort of feel like, and I'm putting more thought into this movie than the people who wrote it or acted in it or directed it, but I sort of feel like up until the very end, Ger's character is under a mission to get the microchip, and we need the boy alive because the boy will tell us where the microchip is and how to get it. And also, I'm not allowed to say the word microchip, so I'm just going to say the thing very meaningfully to the boy, and the boy will know what I want, and the boy will get it to me. And then at the end, when he betrays his handler, that, I think, is the point where he goes to, like, I guess I'm just going to kill this kid because fuck it. For reasons. Yeah. Now that I have the watch, I guess I'll just kill him.
Although he's definitely trying to kill them when they're going down the alleyway. Because they hide behind those boxes and then they push the clearly empty cardboard boxes on him and he has to be like, whoa, and fall over. While we run off.
Well, maybe he's just, I don't know, trying to wing them because he's apparently a super talented CIA assassin. But I don't know. The movie doesn't know.
Luckily, she knows every itinerant in Toronto.
Yeah, they all know each other. They all have smoke signals from their fire barrels. Because it's not a 90s movie if there's not a fire barrel.
No. You know what's really funny is even on Babylon 5, they had like
fire barrels in space.
Not fire barrels, but fire barrels. Like they literally one person in the 90s in television said, look, we can't really have realistic people who are unhoused. Where are they getting heat from, guys? Come on. They gotta have fire barrels. And they just all have, and it's in movies, it's in TV shows, it's everywhere.
It is everywhere.
They always have a fire barrel. So of course they find a fire barrel.
I don't know that I've ever seen one. Have you seen one in real life? I feel like I never have.
I mean, we have a burn barrel here, but it's not like a
surrounded by vagrants. Generally.
Yeah, I mean, they're just like, you get them in rural areas because 5-gallon drums are plentiful. Like they're easy to find, and I can burn things. People burn their trash a lot of times because there's not trash pickups, and then it's a convenient place to do it. And then when it's full, you just cap it and throw the whole thing away. But like, I can't. Where do they get them there? Like, are they just finding them on the street? They're like oil barrels. I don't understand. Like, I don't know who thought maybe a metal trash can.
I think once you officially become homeless in the 90s, you get assigned your own fire barrel.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that comes
this is your
with it.
district.
It's part of the package. Yeah. Okay, I got it.
You get perfect white teeth and a oversized leather jacket, and you get told the area of town that you live in now. Yeah.
Right, and you are just always in a dumpster for no reason. Just hanging out.
Oh, yeah, that one old man is physically sitting inside a dumpster multiple times.
Yes.
With his very Canadian accent and his like slightly muscled hair. And they're like, that seems homeless. Like, no. Come on.
It's fine.
No.
It's fine. Yeah. They got to be approachably unhoused. They can't be like real unhoused. Yeah. And they always have bottles of alcohol, and everyone drinks them without reservation. They're like, here, have my bottle of alcohol. And they're like, great, thanks.
We're a community. We all trust each other and love each other, and we share our one single bottle of hooch.
Yeah, and so then they run away and they fall in love, dancing, drunk, beside a fire barrel
to like People Bryson music.
Smooth 90s R&B.
It is so smooth that it was giving me like full-on flashbacks to my child. It was too smooth. It was too smooth.
It was too smooth. And he's like, you dance like John Wayne. Why?
Because he continues to not be because she's dancing like with her legs like John Wayne always walks like a cowboy.
This would have been a good moment to pull back the Grace Kelly line that she used earlier, if any of the dialogue ever referenced itself ever.
Oh no, that would have been cute.
She called herself Grace Kelly. He could have been like, "I thought you were Grace Kelly," and she could have been like, "Haha, no relation."
Yeah, no, but his character is just kind of a dickhead.
Like that would have been the funny.
Yeah,
play there, but
the only through line is that he's supposed to be. I think he's supposed to be like a Wade Wilson Deadpool, or a Matthew Perry from Friends, Chandler Bing, like a Chandler Bing character, where you're like sarcastic, but you're lovable, or like a Ferris Bueller even. But they just went so hard on the sarcasm that the lovable just did not come through at all. He's just kind of a dickhead. Hey there, John Wayne. You dance like John Wayne. Okay, all right. Well, she's not going to fuck you now, sir, because you just made fun of her like walking like bow-legged. Okay, you just ruined the moment.
Then she wakes up naked with like 90s sex hair.
Yes.
The haha, I've had my hair up this whole time, and now I put my hair down because I met a man and he made me feel like a woman.
It is not at all subtle about before she meets him, she's a boy, and after she meets him, she's a woman.
Yes, correct. Yeah. And he's even good, I like your hair better down.
Be a woman for me. I will say the only good thing about that is I, like her, I thought that they had sex, like off camera. And then he's like, no, you just barfed on yourself, grossy. So I took your shirt off and I washed it because I'm nice. I'm a fucking nice guy. And then I didn't even look at your boobs. And then I put your shirt and your pants on this heater to dry because I know they're the only clothes you got. So be grateful. Like, I was like, oh, okay. I guess thanks for cleaning her and not raping her. That makes you a good guy in a 90s movie.
It does.
Thank you. Thank you.
And then he's like, your hair looks better down. You should even try some makeup sometime. Is what he says to her.
Gross.
And I was like,
I might have blacked out through all of his dialogue because he's just a numbnuts.
You should change for me.
I'd like you better if you were different. Could you be different for me? So, as you said, we will have Ger walking behind them, and then they knock a bunch of empty boxes onto him. And then the one black guy who works for the CIA, whose character name I don't recall.
I've skipped this part.
I don't remember him.
His name
my notes
is like
on this.
Robinson or Simpson or some really stupid. They only say his last name, and they only say it later. And it's when they're in the elevator, maybe. And he's like, oh, did he have a family? Or they're in the car. He's like, did he have a family? And he's like, oh, yeah, a wife and some real cute kids.
Yeah. That's the kind of the vibe of this movie is they're like expendable. And then they're like, wait, not expendable. We're going to make you feel a little sad. Oh, he had a family at home and a 3-legged puppy. And he was just about to save up enough money for retirement. And I guess that'll never happen. Like they just try and like push all this stuff into you. And I'm like, well, you didn't care about this character until like now. Why? How do you want me to care about this character? Like,
yeah. Or they're trying to give us really crucial plot points while also couching it in a discussion about like basketball. Where he's like, how did we do on the game? Thank God we got Jordan. Like, we're going to make it through this because we've got Jordan, which must have been when he was to tell us we're in Chicago. Because yeah, that would have been when he was on the Chicago Bulls.
oh, I guess. Yeah. No, that makes sense.
Yeah. And so, okay. All I could remember was that, did you know Michael Jordan's dad was murdered in North Carolina?
Yes.
In Robinson
Yeah.
County, the poorest
Yes.
county in North Carolina, and they didn't put him in a fridge. They just put him in a shed.
Yes. I don't know why I know this. Maybe we've discussed it, but I remember hearing about this, that it was just
Yeah. And so when they went
lazy
to identify
racism.
him, he was too decomposed to identify, so they didn't even know who he was for a long time.
Yeah, I remember hearing about this. Did they ever find out who killed him? That's the part I don't remember.
I don't remember, but it would have been not this. This is not that far off from when he would have been killed, because I'm pretty sure he was killed in the 90s.
That
But
sounds. I
anyway.
knew it was while he was like in the height of his fame.
But they're
Anyway.
like talking about the thing that's happening, which for a while they're like, oh, your dad was working for the CIA, but we thought he was sneaking information out. And then they're like, oh, yeah, but he wasn't sneaking information out. Someone was framing him. And so we were trying to work to figure out who was framing him. But then, like, surprise, surprise, he was sneaking information out, but he was sneaking information out because somebody was framing him, and he was trying
Correct.
to keep it from the person who was framing him. And so they're trying to, like, give you breadcrumbs, but they're also just like every other line isn't about the plot.
Correct.
And
yeah.
that's kind of how this movie feels. Where like they're trying to give you plot, but they're also just talking about basketball. And you don't know which is which.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. But this is when the one black guy in the movie dies tragically.
And also like sort of funny, but tragically,
yeah.
but like a little funny.
But like little, yeah.
So the head of the CIA, or the head guy for our purposes, Christopher Plummer's character, whose name I wrote down, but I don't care, Christopher Plummer. So the good CIA agents, who include singular black guy and I should have mentioned this earlier, white Italian guy who was definitely the cop in Diamonds. Did you remember him? Did you see him from Diamonds?
Yes.
I was like, oh, good times. Good hoagie kissing times. Mwah, love it. So good white Italian guy and good black guy are on the case to try and track the kid and keep him safe, but not like do anything, but I guess keep him safe, theoretically. So black guy drives after them, and after we have the Ger shooting the cop, and the guy's jumping out the window, and I don't remember if this is before the sex scene or after because it's all blurring together. But
it's
anyways,
before.
Okay. Black guy's like, get in the car, and they're like, okay, but the girl doesn't trust him, so the girl is like pointing a gun at him while he's like, no, I'm the CIA, I'm the good guy, and like, Gar's shooting at you. Like, get in the car with me, who is not shooting at you. Like, it is a very easy choice to make. So they will drive down the highway. Ger just fucking Jason Voorhees follows them very slowly and shoots at them, and somehow like is gaining. Which I like, this is just like last week where I was like, how are you chasing an airplane with a snowmobile and you won on the snowmobile? Like, the airplane has wings.
Except somehow more ridiculous. Yes.
Yes, because Garrett does not have wings or tires. He's just walking. So he shoots back at the car, and somehow he manages to set the trunk on fire by gunshots, which sort of visually made sense in the scene, but like, I don't know that I can explain to you how. I think he maybe like hits the tailpipe and gas.
We get one of those orphan lines where they like throw in a line, and it's the guy going, he hit the gas tank, and it's while he's driving. Yeah.
Okay, so that's how. Okay, so the back of the car is on fire slowly for a long time, and they're still driving down this highway.
Well, the guy's like, I got this, and he gets on the highway going the wrong direction.
The wrong way. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's like, this is fine. This is protocol.
While the truck is on fire.
Driving the wrong way on the highway. I'm fine.
So then they get like halfway down the highway, and then they see that the rest of the bridge is out. Like the bridge out notice is like very, very close to the end. And the guy's like, you guys gotta tuck and roll. You gotta get out. So they jump out and he tries, but like he can't for whatever reason. And I think also his brakes maybe don't work. And also the trunk is on fire. There's a lot happening with this car. So he's like, oh, well, and just shoots off the edge of the highway. And like, I don't know why I thought just like based on it being like a raised highway, I thought they were over water, but they're not. They're over land. So he shoots off the edge of the bridge and then the trunk fire becomes a whole car fire and the whole car just explodes before it hits the ground and then it like double explodes. It's like boom, boom.
So if the bridge is closed and there's no way through, where is the oncoming traffic coming from?
That is a good point. Was the oncoming traffic. Oh, no, because he's on the bad side and the bad side is. I don't know. Maybe there was a turnoff. I don't know. This movie gets worse if you think about it. And like normally I am a proponent of the school of like think about a movie so hard your nose bleeds a little.
No.
This movie does not benefit from that. This movie is just like, you know what? I got lights and colors, man. I got lights and colors.
I know. Then the car blows up and they're like, well, that guy died. Okay, well, what do we fucking do now? Just leave. They don't care.
They get over it very quickly. And like I said, Ger is still walking behind them on the fucking highway. Oh my God, this movie is so sweetly dumb.
And then they go and fall in love by the fire barrel.
Okay.
After they watch a guy die in flames to try to save their lives. Because she's going to go to the cops, I think. And he's like, yeah, go to the cops. How did they know where the safe house was? It's because somebody in the cops, there's a leak.
Yeah.
So we can't
go. Like, we know that the leak is the CIA guy, but the CIA guy does not work for the local Chicago police. So, like, it still doesn't make. Maybe when they were looking up his license plate, somehow it told the CIA that the local cops were looking it up, and that's how the cops knew. Like, thinking about it, like, does not benefit anybody. It does not.
Well, they know he got arrested, remember, because the black guy was following them.
Yes.
And he's on the satellite phone with the CIA guy, with Christopher Plummer, and he's like, he's going to get him. Do you want me to intervene?
Yes,
he's going to capture him. Do you want me to intervene? And then he's
Black
like, oh, never mind. The cops got him. Yeah.
That's right.
So that's how they knew.
I forget everything in this movie that is not someone falling out of a window. I'm going to be honest. Those are my favorite parts.
A lot happened and nothing happened. So it's very hard to hold on to all the nothing that happened.
Yes.
I get it.
Yeah. Normally I try and make like here's a good plot summary, and this time my notes are just like I don't know. Here's some new stuff that happens. I don't know. Fire.
Then they're like, oh, actually, we can't go to the cops. We just had a night that went nowhere. What's the next possible move? I know what will be the Fort Knox of secrecy. The reporter who stood me up and is probably dead. And so then they call the newspaper office, and he pretends to be a CIA agent. But every phone in this entire city is tapped.
Correct.
So they by everyone, by the CIA and by Ger. They're like, if you unscrewed the receiver on the phone, there'd be like 3 little taps in there.
6 things that blink out.
Oh my God. They do when they do the sweep for bugs, they just have a trash can and they're just sweeping all the lentils off into a trash can because there's just bugs everywhere.
You turn on your sweeper and it just explodes because it has too much input.
So then they go to the reporter's house.
Yes. Yeah, that's my favorite part.
And they open the door to the reporter's house and they're like, ew, what's that smell? And there's a cat and nobody turns on any lights.
Correct.
They're just like, it's so dark in here.
Yeah, they walk through and they find the reporter being hung by chains in the back.
Yeah, dead.
Yeah. And so we have the Ger character will be there right behind him. He will chase them through there. Right? Yeah, he chases them through.
Well, not before the CIA guy calls.
Oh, yes. Yes,
and he shows up on the answering machine and he's like, pick up the phone. Pick up the phone, Alex. Alex, I'm your best friend. Alex, I know you're there. Alex, pick up the phone. Pick up the phone, Alex. And then we keep getting like a close-up shot of a circuit board. And then going back out to Christopher Plummer, begging him to pick up the phone. And then a zoom in of a circuit board. Is it supposed to be implying that there's a bomb and like if he picks up the phone it will explode?
I sort of feel like there's something bad will happen. Like Jimmy's like, don't pick up the phone. We have to go. And my first thought was like, well, just like you don't know who you can trust. But yeah, it does. It would make as much sense as anything else in this movie if the circuit board image and Jimmy being like, I got a bad feeling about this. Don't pick up the phone were to imply that there's like another bomb. But like, if it's anything like the bomb that Ger, who knows what Ger's character? Ger's character is just a murder machine. Who knows what he knows?
Because he, at this point, he's ditched his boiler suit finally for his mustard yellow linen suit
and black t-shirt. I did make notes
and
on that,
black
actually.
t-shirt
yes.
with a very thin leather belt. It's like a lot happening in this outfit.
You know what? It was the 90s.
And he has to walk in and be like, hello. And this is the part where does he get dropped down the stairs? He gets something where they're like running away and he's beneath them and he has to do his like sound that he does when he's really evil and really mad. I don't know. This whole part gets real blurry because all of a sudden they're all running. Then he like trips and falls and he's like, oopsie, my watch. And he's like, oh, there's a microchip in my watch. Because then they think it's the package. It's the package that hits. Finally, at 1 hour and 25 minutes in, she's like, well, he goes, how would you hide it? And she's like, I'd mail it to myself. And he's like, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. And she's like,
oh, wait, but there's that mail I didn't pick up that was for my dad. What?
Oh, wait, dad got a package and I didn't pick up the package. And she's like, yeah, dumbest thing ever, huh? So then they're trying to get back to his apartment complex so they can get this package that has now been there for like 3.5 weeks or however long we've been watching this movie.
This movie might take place over 2 hours or like you said, 3 weeks. Like I couldn't tell you either way. But when they arrive there, they're like, hey, doorman, who is clearly not the same size or shape as the doorman that I know. Hey, could I get my package? And he turns around menacingly. Uh-oh, it's Ger with a little doorman hat and a little doorman uniform. He's like, doorman's not here anymore. Don't we see the doorman die? Am I making that up? Doesn't he die?
Well, he says we had a chat and he decided to leave or like I killed him. He's like, he decided to die or whatever. He's basically like, I killed him and I took his job.
Oh, I'm thinking of the homeless guy because the homeless guy who is the little girl, the 30-year-old woman, her friend will show up as like part of their plan, right? Aren't they trying to distract the CIA who's watching them or something? I don't know. He'll show up.
Yeah.
And then Ger will blow him away through a fucking plate glass window. It doesn't sound funny, but it's like a one little gun with a silencer, and it's like the explosive force of like 12 cannons.
It's because all the deaths are just like
hilarious.
What? Who would do that? He's supposed to be like a super secret assassin, and he could have just been like, "Here, man, have some money." And he's just like, no, he's just fucking killing everybody and blowing everything up. For what? Because then he finally gets them in the car, and he's like, You have the thing. I need the thing. And he's like, the what thing? And he goes, the antiviral formula. And then the boy, Alex, goes, germ warfare. Just states it. It's not a question. He goes, germ warfare. And then he goes, yeah, now you're getting it. And then that's it. That's all. Do you want to know what it was? That was
There's
it.
your MacGuffin. Yeah.
There it is. Mm-hmm.
Yep. So, I don't know. Is this okay? So, they realize that they don't have the package anymore, right? Because Walter the doorman gave the package back to the mailman.
Back to the mail. So now they're trying to go to the post office to find the dead mail, which is a thing, but it's held like not every post office has a dead mail. Like it's a central.
Yeah, I thought that they were going to like a central, like the big post office, the big serious post office.
I don't know. And it's Chicago. Do you know how much dead mail there would be?
Well, that's where they go to this building that sort of looks like a train station, and they're like, "This is the post office," and I was like, "Oh, okay."
Okay.
This
now
seems
we
serious
will manually search for this.
Correct.
Excellent.
So they get to the counter with the world's oldest man, and the only way that I knew that this movie was set in Chicago, besides the thick Canadian accents, was you see two different drivers. Like you see Ger's driver's license at one point, and then you see this kid's driver's license when he's trying to pick up the mail. Which I love that he's like, "Hi, I want this package addressed to my dead dad. here is my driver's license and no further information. And the old man's like, okay. And I was like, okay, as a bureaucrat, let me just tell you that that's not how that works. But okay, fine.
Mm-mm.
So anyway, so those really fake ass looking driver's license all had the shape of Illinois very prominently in the middle. And I was like, oh, this horse shit was in Chicago the whole time. Okay.
Well,
So
if you'd known your Chicago Bulls, you'd have gotten that at the beginning.
Yeah, but like everyone, like Michael Jordan, I feel like is not a regional. He's like a big, But yeah, I didn't hear them say like our Chicago Bulls or our Michael Jordan or whatever. I thought they were just talking like about how he was doing in general. And I'll be honest, I thought the movie was like more clever than it actually was. And when I thought they were like talking in code, I thought they were like, the Michael Jordan like wink, like getting the basketball wink wink. Like I thought that they were all, but I think it was just to clue you in that it was in Chicago. I think that there was no code and they literally were like, we like the Bulls. I think that's all it was. So kid gets the counter, kid gets the package. Ger is sitting with Jimmy with a gun on her to basically induce compliance from the guy. And this is when our two fun drug dealers show up and they're like, oh, we're menacing. And Ger's like, are you? Pew pew. And they die. No resolution to fucking anything that happened with them. I kind of like it though. I like that they're like, we're the B plot. And Ger's like, nope. Pew pew. Done. Fucking done. So we will then have I was going to say meet cute. It's not a meet cute. We'll have a meeting between the Christopher Plummer character and Ger's character here at the post office, which I don't remember how the Chris Plummer's character knows to show up there, but just insert reasons in your head. Somehow he knows. Mm-hmm. And Ger's character's like, actually, I'm double crossing you. Wahaha. And he gets into a fight with Christopher Plummer and he shoots him. And because this movie is this movie, he doesn't just fucking die. He dies under a sign that says something like, that says one prick. And I was like, is that supposed to be it's like almost a joke? It's almost a joke. Because they zoom in on it. They're like, they really want you to see the sign that says one prick. And I was like, sure. He is bleeding from the mouth and like moaning. And he takes a long time to die. Because this movie has this weird fetish for like watching the life drain from people's eyes. It's very...
Yeah, but only some characters.
Only some characters. It's right. This is after... Ger takes a pen on a chain and he stabs Christopher Plummer in the fucking neck so violently. And I was like, Christopher Plummer is an icon. How dare you? How dare you?
Sir.
He was Prospero in The Tempest.
You stole my ham sandwich.
These two really talented, amazing Shakespearean actors beating each other up with a pen on a chain in a fake post office. I just...
In the conspiracy you'll feel.
In this movie that like it's not even good enough to go straight to video. Like but it's really fun. Like it's fun despite itself. So despite itself. But anyway, so he's like, oh, maybe that's the one prick because it's like the one prick into his neck. Just you dead. So that's what we're gonna say. So he's poking him in the neck, and then we have an off-brand version of the song "Run Rudolph." Remember, like "Run, Run, Rudolph." They play like
Boogie Woogie.
Is that the boogie? Okay, they play like the most discounted.
I don't know. That's what they keep saying. Boogie Woogie. That's all I can hear now.
It is. If you imagine, if you were like, what is the Muzak version of that "Run, Run, Rudolph" rock and roll song that we hear at Christmas time? That is what they did. So the rest of the movie, Peebo Bryson, and then during this one chase scene where Ger's killed Christopher Plummer's character, and now the kids are on the run. Away from him with the envelope and their watch, and Ger is chasing after them. We have now switched to rock and roll. Christmas time rock and roll.
Well, I mean, the homeless fellow died to Celtic music.
That is true. That is accurate.
Yeah. Plate glass window shatters, suddenly hurdy-gurdy.
Oh, I'm sorry. And it's important to note that Christopher Plummer's character has shot Ger in the arm. I thought in the shoulder, but the injured part seems to kind of move to wherever he wants it to be.
You know where.
And Ger will. My notes literally just say Ger is running crazy with one dead arm and screaming at people to get out of the way and just screaming nonsense noises. It is so fucking good. He is doing like a Frankenstein monster shuffle and just pushing people out of. And like nobody is concerned by this screaming, dead-armed man with a gun through the post office.
It's Chicago.
Yeah, it's a normal Tuesday in Chicago at the post office. He is like mashing his body into people, going, "Get out of the way!" And then just like bellowing like a wounded animal as he slowly walks through this post office. Just get out of the way. Like, what? But I love this so much. It is so dumb. Can you imagine? I really feel like if someone were chasing me and they were doing it by slowly walking and like screaming, I'd be like, oh, this makes it easier. I know how far away you are. Just listen for the scream.
I'd be so much more terrified than if they were actually just chasing me. If they were like,
we can't do it justice. I'm gonna try and like insert a clip of this scene where he's like walking and screaming, because you're gonna be like, surely you're exaggerating. We are not. We're not. So I'm going to here I am going to pause to insert the screaming and moaning of Ger in the post office. So they get into some kind of mail sorting room now, and this is when the watch gets shot and the back falls up, and they're like, oh, look, there's the microchip. It turns out it's not in the mail like Jimmy thought, which was sort of a clever plan. Nope.
It was in the watch all along.
The whole time, and the dad didn't tell anyone, and there were no clues to lead us there. It just, oops, there it is.
Is the MacGuffin with us? Is it in the room with us right now?
And as we said, I think before we started recording, I was like, I'm just a real dummy. I guess what I thought a microchip looked like is not what it looked like. But then I Googled, and it turns out that I'm right, and the movie's the dummy. Because a microchip just looks like a computer chip, but micro, just smaller. So it's like a little square of metal with little metal wires and shit on it. That's all it is. The thing that they give us is, what did you say? What did you call it? A capacitor?
A capacitor. They're just like these little long tube things that have a wire on either end, and they've literally lined 4 of them up and just glued them into this watch. And not the whole back of the watch, just like off to the side.
Correct.
Like tucked in the corner of the watch. And he has to
correct.
He runs his thumb up and down it, and he's like, it's a microchip.
As opposed to my reaction, which is, what the fuck am I looking at? Apparently this very grown college student is like, oh yes, I've seen this in my 22 years of college
and we don't
classes.
even know what he's doing in school, so I don't know. Maybe he's supposed to be doing computers.
Sure.
I don't know.
Maybe that's why he's embarrassed by the cow shit. I don't.
All I know is then somehow they're outside on a window washing thing.
Correct. So we have Ger seeing them, and he's about to shoot when Jimmy does that thing where she pulls, like you said earlier, she pulls the lever on a steam pipe, and it scalds Ger. And this is the first of 2 times where they dub Ger with someone who sounds nothing like him for reasons I don't understand. They dub him screaming with someone who sounds like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
He's like, oh, it's so bad.
And yes, I will include that here. I will include a clip of it here.
He sounds like he's dying. I thought he was dying. I was like, oh my God, is that like a lot of steam?
Well, it's hot steam. It would make sense.
But he's unscathed when we see him again.
Correct. He's unscathed, but he's dubbed with an Austrian man's voice. And we have heard Ger speak earlier. Like, it is very clearly not his voice. I love it so much.
Maybe they were like, okay, you got to get hit by steam. And he's like, no, I draw the line. And they're like, come on, man, you gotta groan. He's like, no.
I will be hit by it, but I will make no noise when it happens.
You're gonna have to get that from somewhere else.
So then they somehow end up on the roof of the building, which again, like logistically, I don't understand how they ran through what also appeared to be a 1-story like main floor post office, and they go through the back rooms, and I don't recall them going upstairs, but somehow they're on the roof now. Sure. So they're on the roof, and then I will say that I was a little nervous. So Ger being menacing on a roof, I feel like, is a secret characteristic.
Yeah.
But he is running over what does in fact appear to be the glass panel of like a ceiling, like the roof of a building, the glass panel of the roof of the building. And I was like, I don't think that's meant to hold a human man's weight. Did you like check with anybody before they told you to just hop up on there? That is the most dangerous. Why don't you have a stunt double for that scene? Why can I clearly see your face when you're running across the glass that I don't think is going to hold you? So I was like, this is scarier than any of the shit that you thought was scary in this whole movie. I was like, is this one of those, this is going to be one of those like apocryphal movies that they're like not allowed to release because someone died while making it? Like, that's what that felt like. So they run across the roof and they get into the window washer's cradle, which apparently is what you call the basket. They are fighting with each other. Ger's character jumps onto the bottom of the window washing basket and like spider crawls his way up with the clearest use of a stunt double that I think I have ever seen in my time. Like the least Ger. Yeah. Hi.
Oh, R.I.P. Rick.
Oh, R.I.P. Rick. We missed you from Forever Night. Mm-hmm. Anyways, so very clearly not Ger. Spider crawls his way up from the bottom, and they try and make it like it takes too goddamn long. So the girl and the boy are like running to both ends of the little basket. They're like, "Where is he? Where is he? Where is he?" And I'm like, why is he hanging underneath there for like 10 minutes? His arms would get, like, he's not actually Jason Voorhees. Like, he is a human man and he's climbing. He's going to climb in the basket in like 1 second. Why is everything in this movie stretched out so long that they're like, where's the horror movie villain going to pop up next? Like, no, sir, like he's just the crab underneath. Like, just hit him with a broom. Just like prop up, just bump him. You got tools in there, I'm sure. So they try and have a dramatic, like, 3-person fight in this tiny window washer basket. Jimmy at one point will take the whole giant magazine-sized envelope and just shove it right in her pants for fucking safety reasons. I don't know why. So they will fight with each other. Ger manages to crawl back in. So he and Jimmy will fall out of the basket. Chris will pull Jimmy back in. Ger manages to crab crawl his way back into the basket. He grabs the envelope. Oh, no. Ger's character has then the longest speech he has in the entire movie, which is to say 2 sentences. He goes, "You're all goddamn fucking losers." And I was like, oh, Ger, swear. Oh,
he said fuck a couple times.
That is true. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's a bad daddy in this movie.
Yeah.
So
it reminded me of Slings and Arrows. That
is my favorite.
I was like, oh, Henry Breedlove.
I maintain that Ger wearing little socks and a fuzzy bathrobe and having to like do that shuffle walk you do across tile that is too smooth in your fuzzy socks while going fuck is my favorite. It's like it's like this is the tiniest little snippet of a scene and I love it so goddamn much.
Yes.
The amount of like pissed off vitriol that he's able to get out in one little fuck while going like with his little socks. And the poor costume ladies are like chasing behind him with his full Macbeth outfit. Like I love it so. I love that scene so much. It gives you so much in such a little scene. Just fuck. I love it. I love it so goddamn much. Anyways, that is not this. This is real dumb. So he'll crawl his way back in. He's like, "You're all fucking losers." And I'm like, where does that even come from? Do you know what I mean? Like you're like the CIA assassin. You're trying to get this for money. Why do you have an opinion? Like, did you work with his dad when you were both at the CIA? Were you like at the same lunch table and he was mean to you? Like what? Like where do we get this whole like, because he says a couple of things that like all line up into like character denigration. I don't know why, but it like builds. I guess Chris wasn't afraid enough for his life, but when his dad was called a fucking loser, he was like, well, I've had it now. So he knocks Ger out of the basket with a squeegee on a handle that must have been there the whole time and he just never thought was worth using during any part of this 3-part fight before now. Mm-hmm. Ger falls out of the basket. He will fall for a long-ass time because, again, this movie doesn't know. He is, again, dubbed by somebody else and I don't know why. And when he falls out of the basket, he goes, "Wah," and I'm just like, what? That's the noise that you make?
Well, at one point he stops, takes a breath, and starts going, whoa!
This movie is
like he ran out of air. It took so long to fall. He'd be like,
he just keeps falling.
You're all goddamn fucking losers! You think so?
I might have watched it twice. I might have watched that scene twice because it was so funny. Oh, I'm crying a little bit. Oh, it is. You have to watch this movie for people falling out a window. Like, if nothing else, just for the falls that go on way too long, and the weird, like, not Schwarzenegger who's dubbing. Why? Why is he dubbing you? Just. I was crying. I was laughing so hard. He will then land on a station wagon with such force that the entire station wagon basically collapses. It doesn't sound funny, but it is so funny. It squishes it like a fucking pancake. It squishes it like Ger has fallen from 9,000 feet and he weighs 10,000 pounds. Like, I can't even, it's just like, whoa, no station wagon anymore. Oh my God. And he will, let's see. Yeah, I put my notes at this point is where you can finally see the cigarette burn, which I think is kind of funny. Yeah, the whole car deflates from the impact of Ger. You will see that the envelope that he has popped open, and inside, is just some kind of technical manual, which looks like a magazine. It looks like one of those catalogs you get for Uline, where it has like, here's 400 kinds of safety vests, but whatever. Apparently, it's some kind of technical manual. We will do a close-up of Ger's face doing a good corpse, because that is one of his many skill sets. And the seagulls fly by in slow motion again. I don't know why. I feel like it's not meant to symbolize anything. Yeah, correct. That we hear their wings. Yeah, I don't. Is it the fragility of life movie? What are you trying to get at?
I don't know.
The temporalness.
Then they're down by the lake, which would be like Michigan, I guess.
Correct. Yeah.
And the guy shows up, the one CIA guy who turned out to not die, who did not die, shows up.
Yeah, the guy from Diamonds. Yeah, with his mullet.
He's like, so your dad made this antiviral thing, and it could save a lot of lives, but it could also be dangerous in the wrong hands. And it turns out we never found it. Even though we gave you detailed instructions about where to look for it, we just never got it. Ho-hum. Anyway, and he pulls something out of his jacket, and they're like, no, and he's like, call me if you need me, and hands him his card.
Yeah, they set it up like he's going to shoot them.
Yeah, and then he pulls, as the guy walks away, he pulls the microchip out, and he's like, this is my dad's life's work. He believed in this so strongly, he died for it. Yoink! He eats it out
into the fucking water.
And the seagulls are like, snack? And that's the
seagulls go after it like it is bread wrapped in ham, wrapped in cheese. Like, I've never seen seagulls fight over something as much as they're like, antivirus. Like, it's can I just say though that I think so this last scene, for whatever reason, this is where I started to take good notes. So we have the guy from Diamonds. He's like, we thought that the CIA leak was your dad, and it turns out it was actually like Christopher Plummer's character. Like, our bad, but like, we knew there was a leak, we just had the wrong guy. It would be really cool if we got the antiviral formula back, because it could save millions of lives. It could hurt people in the wrong hands. So in the right hands, which I've proved myself to be trustworthy, because I'm the one CIA guy who's not a villain. So it would be good if we could have that back. And then he like pauses, like, you got something to tell me, maybe? And the kid's like, blink, blink, nope. So the CIA guy turns around, very slowly puts his hand in his breast pocket. We see a gun. Where his hand is going. Like, it's like a chest pocket. He's got a gun up real high for whatever reason, his holster, I guess. So he goes, by the way, and then the film has him standing still. The film is like, we're really going to milk this last beat. Then seagulls. Then back to the guy. Then he turns around and gives them a business card and goes, if you ever want to talk. But what? Are you like a dramatic artiste now, director? Mm-hmm. Is that what you were trying to now at the end, after Ger with Arnold Schwarzenegger's voice falling out of a fucking window washer basket? Now you're like, no, this is an artistic work of integrity and talent. No. Fucking what? This movie. Yeah, okay. So then Chris and Jimmy are like, okay, bye, see you later. And then Chris is like, oh, actually, I want to date you. Cool. And then more easy listening music, the end of movie. And we skipped so much because nothing matters in this movie. I think everyone needs to watch it. I will say the one thing that we only sort of touched on very briefly that I think is important to mention is that Jimmy first lies to Chris about how her dad died. She's like, oh yeah, somebody killed him with a pool cue, which is a fucked up and very specific lie to make up to somebody.
Yeah.
And then it turns out that her dad was a drug addict and died. And we know this because for no reason, we get a full-on like dream sequence flashback where she as a little girl is wearing all white. She's in a room that's all white. So like white table, white walls, white, like everything is painted white in this room. There is a man also wearing all white doing cocaine off a little white table. But because everything in this room is white and you need the cocaine to stand out, in the dream sequence, it's black. So it sort of looks like he's snorting gunpowder. There are no other dream sequences in this movie, I need to point out. Like, no other, like, dramatic, artistic flashbacks. I guess, is it supposed to go with the seagulls? Dramatic seagull wing, and then white room of dad pain? Like, I don't... I got nothing. And it would be remiss of me not to mention the several moments where the movie's like, we know y'all weren't paying attention. Here's a flashback to earlier in this movie.
to ourselves.
With the Peebo Bryson music. Like, I just... Oh my God. Not shit that you didn't see before. Like, not like new information. Like,
No.
flashbacks to shit that we've already seen.
Correct.
So it is not a good movie. Like, I don't want anyone to listen and be like, this sounds like a quality movie. It's not. It doesn't make a lot of sense. It goes on way too long. There's flashbacks for no reason. Everyone gets blown away, like, very violently and graphically. But when people are falling out of buildings, it is the funniest goddamn movie I have ever seen in my entire life. I don't remember the last time I watched a movie and I had a laugh like forced out of me. Like, I laughed out loud until I cried. When Ger's character and the boy and girl, when anyone is falling out of a window, I had such a release in my soul. I was at peace for the first time in a long time. I was one with the spirit of the universe. And I got that from The Conspiracy of Fear. Again, not Conspiracy of Fear.
The Conspiracy of Fear. Yes.
The Conspiracy of Fear.
The specific one. Yes.
Yes. It's the only one that Ger is in. He's definitely not in whatever this new one is on Amazon Prime. So you'll have to buy the DVD, okay? Or it's on DVD, it's on VHS if you want to go full old school. I don't think you can stream it anywhere unless you find some bootleg copy somewhere, but so good luck. But it is absolutely worth it for the pants-pissing levity that this stupid fucking movie induced. Just maybe don't try to like understand or follow the plot too much. Like there are several points where Christopher Plummer is talking about like his prostate problems. Don't worry about that. We're not going to discuss that.
No. Oh, the part where the guy's like, "Oh, this coffee tastes bad. Oh, this because you've had 12 cups. Well, I can't poop if I don't drink that many cups. Have you tried worms? What? Worms? Have you tried eating worms?"
That is verbatim. That is honestly, that is verbatim. I was sitting there and I was like, did I have one of those strokes where I can't understand English anymore? Is that the specific stroke I just had in that part of my brain? No, they really go from you can't shit, eat worms. I hear that they help. Yeah. It's not a plot point. It doesn't come back again later.
No.
I can't explain it, but it happens in the course of this movie. So just fully expect all the dialogue to leave you cold.
Mystified,
Mystified, yeah. But if you want to see very Canadian gangsters for 12 minutes and then Ger slow motion murder walking for the rest of the entire movie with the biggest silencer I've ever seen and the biggest jacket, we recommend almost nothing of Ger of Ger's.
We just haven't in a while. We do. Yeah, we just had a string of ones where we're like, nah, don't worry about it.
We haven't. We're not in the deep end of his quality content. We've bumped our noses off the shallow a couple of times. This thing is so good. This is so fucking stupid. but I liked it so much. I really want everyone to watch it and then to write into the podcast and tell us what you think, because it is. I've never seen a movie like this before. I never have, where it was so unself-aware that it got to this like weird new plane of comedy that people strive for their whole lives and they can't hit it. And this movie is just like, what if, I don't know, stupid shit. And it just, yeah.
That's
so
fair.
yeah. So we rated it already. So just it's good. We liked it. Go watch it.
Go watch it.
That's all I got.
Until next time, friends.
All right. Until next time.
Bye.